Oh, yeah, baby. It's Friday night, and we are live, baby. You know the procedures. What's up? I see Alex Jackson out there in the cut. What's up, bro? How you doing? The Apple jockey himself. I see you, baby. I see you. Oh, yeah, we're starting early tonight. Let me send out the tweet so the people can know that we are live. Look at that. YouTube sending out the notifications. Oh, hell yeah. I like when YouTube is on their game. I appreciate you, YouTube. I appreciate you. How are you all doing? What's going on? What's up? What's up? We are out of the gate, baby. We are out of the gate. Tech for your needs. What's up? How you doing, baby? Where did I go? Where did I go here? Where did I go? Where did I go? Where we at? Uh-huh. All right, here we go. All right. Woo! Let's go. We're live. Woo, baby, we are live. Let's go to work. Let's go to work. We got Saturday Night Tech Fight. Yeah, baby. Hopefully, Mike heeded my advice and got his streaming set up on deck. I might have to tag him in tonight, baby. Oh, Alex, thank you for the compliment, man. Shout out to Mr. Stitch It Up, man. That boy is legit. You do some good work over there, baby. You do some good work over there. Hooked your boy Viper up with a nice little couple of caps. Actually, I paid for them, but still, it is what it is. I hooked it up. Chose the Partisan out there. What's up? How you doing? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Well, we about to go to work. Gonna give y'all a couple of minutes to file in. I just put out the tweet to let y'all know that we're live, and we're going to work because starting a little early tonight because I might have to bring in my boy from the UK, beloved Tech here. So we're gonna start early so we can get him to bed real quick. But yeah, we starting early tonight. What's up, people? What's up? How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm about to make some people mad tonight. I don't care. I don't care. Like, if you know one person on the internet that's gonna keep it real with you, you know who it is, you know it's me. And tonight, I gotta keep it real. We gonna hurt some feelings, but that's okay. Because I don't like what I saw yesterday. But I'll talk about that when I start the intro in a few minutes there. We got 12 people watching. We'll give them another minute or two to file in. And then that's it. I mean, I know most people aren't used to starting, they're not used to me starting early. Yeah, Tech King Mike. Yes. I'll get into that. You know, we can get to that. You know, what's up? Oh, yes, Alex. The Vyp line will be open. Not right away. But once I get into it, yes, the Vyp line will be open. The Vyp lines are open tonight, baby. Oh, we about to have a whole discussion, baby. We about to have a whole discussion. Well, Mike, if that's how you feel, I hope you got your streaming set up ready to rock and roll because you getting tagged in if that's how you feel. I need Sony people, I need Xbox people, I need you available, baby. I need y'all available. We got to talk about this. We got to have a real life discussion tonight. That's what we talking about. We have to have a discussion tonight for real because I don't like what I saw yesterday. We have to have a discussion. So, we got 16 people watching. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Whoa! Oh, yeah. Let's go to work, baby. Let's go to work. Make sure my levels are good. Okay, cool. My levels are good. So, current time, 6:17 p.m. Central Standard Time, which means you are in the right place. You are on the right YouTube channel, baby. Hold on. Wait a minute. You readjust my camera a little bit. All right. Readjust my cam. All right, cool. I think we're good. Wait, what the hell? Come back. What's going on? Really, dude? Okay, there we go. Mike, what the hell's going on here? All right, so 6:17 or 6:18 p.m. So you know what's about to happen next. If you are a Friday Night Vyper veteran, you know what's about to happen. If you're new here, listen up and pay close attention to what I say next. If you're new here, this is the part of the live stream where I'm going to need you to turn your volume down. Because if you don't turn your volume down, I will not be held liable for what your friends and neighbors thinking about you listening to some loud dude on YouTube. Oh, no. That's on you, not on me. That's on you, not on me. Now, with that out of the way, let me proceed with the single most electrifying live stream introduction in YouTube today. We're about to have a discussion tonight, baby. Oh, my goodness. Oh, let's go to work. If you're listening on headphones, you might want to turn your volume down immediately, like right now. Woo! Okay. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, and we are live. Welcome to Friday Night Vyper, baby. Woo! Oh, yes. It is that day again. We are back. We are live on YouTube. Oh, that was lit. Now, before I get started with tonight's festivities, let me see who I got in the chat tonight. So let me scroll back up here first on the list. Alex Jackson, what's up, bro? How you doing? Then we got Tech for Your Need. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got Khalil Mishra. What's up, Khalil? How you doing, baby? We got the Don Tech Key Mike himself. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got Joseph Hardison in the building. What's up, Joseph? How you doing? We got Corley One. What's up, Corley? How you doing? Keep It Techie is here. What's up, bro? How you doing? And CDF Man is in the building. What's up, bro? We got Kenny himself. What's up, Kenny? How you doing? And we got, who else we got? Let me keep scrolling. Oh, we got The Poets. What's up, bro? How you doing? F Nick is in the cut. What's up, F Nick? How you doing? We got Ace Rock Cola. What's up, Ace? How you doing, baby? How you doing? And we got, let me keep scrolling. Oh, we got Aditya Upper Carl. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry, but what's up, man? How you doing? We got MC Lokes in Life, Mr. Cat Daddy himself. What's up, bro? How you doing? Tech Odyssey is here. What's up, bro? How you doing? We got my Forcer Genosis in the cut. What's up, Genosis? How you doing, baby? Who else? Bender Tube. What's up, Bender? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Who else we got? We got Reed Tender Tech. What's up, bro? How you doing? Wait a minute. My head of security, El Jefe Review. What's up, bro? How you doing? And I think I got everybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Sometimes this mouth of mine acts a little funny. Oh, we got Leon Green. What's up, Leon? How you doing? How you doing? All right, I think I got everybody. All right. So I'm just about to start passing out links because I know people are about to get upset, and I'm about to I'm gonna let them come on here and state their business. Actually, hold on. Before I do that, let me make sure I'm ready to rock and roll on the Vype line here. Hold on. Where we at? Yeah. All right, let me grab the wires that I need to make sure that this works properly. Don't want no muss, no fuss tonight. We're gonna make sure this phone is sufficiently charged. Preston Thoughts, what's up, Preston? How you doing, baby? How you doing? All right, let me turn it. Blah. Yep. Boom. All right. So we are in the building. Okay, we are in the building. I like it. All right. Cool. All right, we are in the building. Officially official. All right. Cool. Okay. So. Oh wait. We got who else? We got 504. What's up, 504? How you doing? And we got Rappy. What's up, Rappy? How you doing, baby? How you doing? All right, now let me start sending out these links to these people. All right, let me hit to my Twitter. All right. Somebody remind Greg Gadget that I'm looking for him. He better be in the building somewhere. I'm looking for my man Greg Gadget out here. I don't know what he's doing, but I told him that keep his schedule open because you never know what might go down on these live streams, because it's about to get crazy in here. It's about to get a little crazy in here. All right, so that's one. All right, let me keep going. Blah 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 blah. Let's go back. Let me see what we got in here. Oh, let's go back. Home. All right, Mr. Attack. Right. Okay. All right. That's two. Okay. Let me hit that up. Boom. Bam. All right. Let me go back. And we got three. Let me go find my man in the level attack. All right, got him. That's three. Oh yeah. We're about to get into it tonight. We got to discuss tonight. Oh, wait a minute. What? Did I just do that? Oh, I just did that. Oh no, that's the other one. What am I doing? No, that's not right. Hold on. I am tweaking. Wait a minute. I'm losing my mind. Okay, let me do this correctly. Okay, I got it. Boom. Boom. All right, boom. Cool. Okay, three. All right, that's three. Okay. All right. What else we got? Who else we got? Oh yeah. Gotta find my man. Where's he at? Yeah, there he is. I got him. I found him. There he is. Let's go to work. Bam. All right. So the links have been sent out. So now people want to go and disagree. We can do that. All right, so I watched the Xbox Game Showcase yesterday, and I wasn't impressed, baby. I was not impressed. I know you Xbox are out to be all types of mad tonight, and I don't care. I am an Xbox dude. I had the Xbox One. I had the original Xbox. I had the 360. I've had all these Xboxes, and Microsoft, they just kind of fell off the wagon somewhere. I don't know what happened with Microsoft. It's like they couldn't deal with Sony. They let Sony just bum rush them. So I had a few issues with yesterday's show. Let me get into the issues that I had. Where we at? All right, so first and foremost, chief among the issues I had yesterday was the games that they showed. Now, we saw Halo Infinite. I mean, okay, it's Halo, but I mean, it doesn't really look much different, or there's not much gameplay different from what we've been used to. I mean, that Halo looked like it could have been played on an original Xbox One. I mean, besides the grappling hook, what more was there to the game? You're still running around shooting people, and I know that's the foundation of Halo, but that campaign didn't look like anything special. I realized that they didn't show off any of the multiplayer yet, so that's cool. But bam, where is the next generation graphics? Where is the next generation gameplay that Halo? I mean, this is like a console launching exclusive or whatever, and it looked average. I mean, we got Sony out here showing Spider-Man and stray cats and stuff and all types of stuff, and we got Microsoft coming with Halo. I mean, Halo wasn't the only thing. Obviously, they had some other stuff like that game Medium looked good. I'll give them that. That looked cool. Oh, what else they have? Ori. I mean, who cares about Ori, man? We looking for these large major AAA exclusives, and they talk about some Ori. I'm like, what? We talk about some this indie game trying to run at 120 frames per second. Who gives a monkey's nipple? Nobody cares about Ori and whatever the hell Ori called this time. I don't know. I don't care. I needed to see some heavy hitting games yesterday, and I didn't get that at all. Not to mention the fact that Microsoft is holding the next generation back because for the first 2 years of the existence of the Series X, every game that is made for the Series X has to work on the Xbox Xbox One. So Microsoft, they are so hell-bent on holding on to the last generation of consoles that you can't even, developers can't even take full advantage of the Series X for the most part until 2022, 2023? Because they want all their games to work across all of their systems. Now, I respect the fact that they don't want to leave people behind, but still, if you are asking me to pay some $500, $600, $700 for your next generation console, I don't want to be, if I'm willing to shell out that money for your Xbox Series X, I don't want to be held back by the Xbox One. Okay? I did that. I've been there. I've done that. This is the next generation of consoles. So where's my next generation experiences? Where's my next generation of gameplay? I got none of that yesterday. Everything that they put out yesterday was CGI or some regular looking crap. I need new experiences, Microsoft. And why is it that every big time Microsoft game is a first person shooter? Why? Do you not understand, Microsoft, that there is more to life than a first-person shooter? Yes, they're nice, but damn, could you put those time and resources into other games and different ideologies and ideas? I mean, good Lord, Microsoft, what? Bro, we are not in 2010 anymore. This is 2020. This is the time of the Rona. People are inside. You have a grand opportunity, Microsoft, to bring the pain, and you brought nothing but a bunch of ice cream and milk cartons yesterday. What was that, Microsoft? What was that? That was terrible. I don't understand it. What's really going on? I just didn't feel it yesterday. Microsoft. Like I said on Twitter yesterday, the only thing that was proven to me yesterday is Microsoft made me want to go and rush and pre-order a PS5. That's what Microsoft accomplished yesterday. Nothing happened yesterday that made me want to rush out and get a Series X. Because again, they're talking about all their games working for their Xbox One and their PC. I don't care about none of that. I care about the Xbox Series X. Why should I rush out and buy an Xbox Series X? That's what I wanted to see yesterday, and I saw none of that. They're talking about PC. They're talking about games working on the Xbox Series X, working on a PC, working on the Xbox One. Who gives a monkey's nipple? I was there to see Xbox Series X games and gameplay. I got very, very little. Listen, Mike, you can keep talking and trashing, but you want to, but the link is in your Twitter DM, son. You make a decision, baby. You make a decision. What is going on, man? I don't understand this stuff, man. I don't understand. So what I was not mad about yesterday? Let's see. I got a few things going on. So out of all the games that we saw yesterday, the big one, of course, was Halo Infinite. And that was that's their killer app. And it didn't look really killer to me. I mean, you got Spider-Man Miles Morales on a PS5. You got a brand new Ratchet and Clank. You got other things. You got reasons to go out and get a PS5 on launch day. I don't have that on Xbox Series X. I mean, like I said, I saw nothing yesterday that uberly impressed me. Now, that's not to say that the PlayStation 5 event was that much more banging, because it really wasn't. I mean, I didn't see that many more games on PlayStation's event either that maybe you want to ooh, but I did see more from Sony than I saw from Microsoft. Listen, lover of tech, the link is in your Twitter DM. You need to come in here and either defend Xbox or back me up. I don't know what y'all want to do. I passed out links to Trenton, lover of tech, and Tech King Mike. Gregory McFadden will be here later on, I guess, but I passed out links. So if y'all got a problem with what I'm saying tonight, y'all got the invitation to come in and discuss this with me. We got to talk about this, because I'm not impressed with Xbox right now. I am not impressed. And I'm an Xbox dude, and I'm not impressed. These dudes are literally about to have me running into the arms of Sony, because yesterday was a bunch of monkey crap, people, crap. Now, I also heard something yesterday that really disturbed me. And what I heard yesterday was that Halo Infinite won't even be a complete game when it launches later this year. 343 is talking about building a platform with it. Like, I guess they're trying to do like a Fortnite where they add on over the years and things like that. So God knows when the game will actually be fully complete. I'm sorry. What? Are you serious, bruh? So let me get this straight. You are launching a next generation console with a flagship game that won't even be complete when it launches, and you're trying to use it to launch it as a game as a service platform? What is this? When did we become so complacent that we could just launch games that are half-assed? I don't understand this stuff. If there's nothing, and I mean nothing, that pisses me off more in gaming than developers launching unfinished games. Now, I understand that DLC is a thing, downloadable content, this, that, and the other. I understand adding on to the game once the game is over with. But do not launch a game based on potential. And damn sure don't try to launch me a next generation console exclusive and call it games as a service. What? No. When I pay my $60 for that game, I don't want to have to be paying for the game for the next 10 years. No. I want to pay the $60 one time. I don't want to pay $60 up front and then pay $10 to get the next part of the game, and then another $10 or $20 to get the next part of the game, and then in 3 years I got to pay another $10, $20 to get another part of the game. No. What is this? Are we buying games, or are we buying games on layaway? Why are we serious? What the hell is this? I am from the hood. I am from the old school OG game. You know what? Marquez and Justine, they might be OG YouTubers. I am an OG gamer, baby. I've been gaming since Atari. I've been gaming longer than some of you have been alive. This is monkey crap. What is going on? I don't want games as a service. I want a whole game. When you say the game is ready, I want a game that is ready to rock and roll. I don't want a game that needs a day one patch. I don't want a game that's going to be added on for another 5 to 10 years. I don't want a Destiny 2 where the game's never finished. They got to keep adding parts to the game. What? Oh my God. This is so weird. Yeah, ethnic, right. I don't want a subscription model for my video game. What the hell is that? That's terrible. What is going on? You know what? But I know y'all tired of hearing me, so let me bring in my man, Mr. Lover of Tech. What's up, Ben? How you doing, baby?
Yo, what's good?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, I know you heard me ranting for the first last 10, 15 minutes. you got anything to say about Microsoft yesterday? Because they disappointed me hardcore yesterday, man.
Do you know what's peak about the whole thing? Yeah, I was literally doing a live stream test on the channel just to make sure that I could live stream in 4K again, because I got a signal booster and stuff. So I'm there now, and then my boy just messages me like, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, the game reveal for Xbox." And I was like, I missed that. I'm gonna have to watch it later. And I was like, I might need to get an Xbox Series X. And I'm thinking, what? Are they really dropping something? So did my thing. Went and watched it. I watched it at times 2 speed. and I was watching the comments more than the stream, and people were roasting Microsoft. They were saying like the graphics on Infinite was like from Xbox One, Xbox 360. I was looking at the comments because the comments were gonna make me look at the stream, and I was looking at the comments, and the comments were roasting, and I thought, nah. There's nothing that I saw that made me think like, yo, I don't have a choice but to get to get the Xbox Series X. PS5 now, I'm like, I want to play as Black Spider-Man. That's it. That's all I want to do. I want to play as a black superhero. Miles Morales is getting his shine. That's all I care about. Yeah, just that one game alone makes me know that I have to get a PS5. If I don't, I've betrayed the cause. That's the difference.
It's not even about that for me. It's about at least that game looks a lot more fun, and that's a brand new IP that is exclusive to PlayStation 5. Like, I like the way Sony's approaching it. They're not trying to worry about what's on PS4 and being. I mean, obviously, you want your system to be backwards compatible, but that's not Sony's focus. I think that's where Microsoft is failing because they're trying to make everything so backwards compatible that they're focusing on everything else except their next generation Xbox Series X. When you have a game showcase this close to your next generation console launch, I want to see games and gameplay from that console. I don't care about what works on your Xbox One X or Xbox One or whatever. I don't care about that stuff. What is working on the Series X? How does it look? How does it play on the Series X? And that's what we're getting from Sony over there with the PS5. And that's what we didn't get yesterday from Microsoft with the Series X. What are they doing, man? What are they doing?
This is where they really want to tie in the whole Windows to Xbox ecosystem. That's where their agenda is. Their agenda is on technical brilliance rather than an actual reason to buy a system. That's what they're trying to achieve. And I said it in my video that on a technicality, the confidence that Microsoft have in terms of bringing their best foot forward, they have technically the more capable console. And that's a proven track record for what they did with Xbox One X. They created the Xbox One X in the same footprint and form factor of the Xbox One S, but the power and the acoustics and the heat output was so much better on that console versus Sony. Anyone that has a PS4 Pro and a PS4 especially knows that these Sony consoles here are like jet engines when they're fired up. They're not quiet. They generate a lot of heat, but it don't matter. The games are there. The games are there.
That last sentence is key. It doesn't matter how much more powerful the Xbox console is. If it does not have the games that people want to play, who in the blue monkey symbol cares about it? No one cares. I want games to play.
There.
It does not matter how powerful your system is. If it does not have the games that I want to play, that we want to play, who cares? It doesn't matter. At this point, you go from the world's most powerful console to the world's most powerful coaster. That's what we're talking about here. Where are the games, Microsoft? What happened yesterday? That was
No. There weren't no games. Even when they revealed Fable at the end, they didn't give it enough room for us to be excited about it. One, two. For me, what got me sucked onto Xbox was not Halo, was Gears. And I know Gears of War has been long in the tooth, but that game is probably the game that will showcase the platform best next to Turn 10 Studios with Forza. And they're the two games that they didn't really show it as much as I would have liked to versus what Sony did. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's my personal opinion.
Right.
But in terms of like, if you look at PS4, Sony had their IPs, their intellectual property games that we knew of, and then they did stuff that we didn't even know they were going to do. Things like Detroit Being Human. When that game came out, it came out of nowhere. And that game was sick. I was like, Rod, this game, it was just different. God of War, as long as we knew God of War, they went back to the drawing board. Sony Santa Monica remade and reimagined God of War. We all know what happened. That game for 2018, definitely one of the games of the decade. 100%.
Definitely.
You see, and this is what Sony does. Sony know how to create these games that will get you emotionally tied in to the point where they don't even need an online gaming attachment as an expectation for it to work. Look how many single player IP games that they've got. Full price. You play it once, but you keep playing it again because emotionally they've got the storyline down, they've got the graphics down, they've got the engagement down, and there's a variety from platform games like Ratchet and Clank all the way up to racing simulators like Gran Turismo, all the way up to first player games like God of War. You know, it's like the diversity of what they've got is mad. And then Last of Us as well. And then you've got the Uncharted series. Bro, come on, man. Games. The games.
Exactly. After watching that Xbox game showcase yesterday, it infuriates me even more because I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago at E3, Microsoft had announced that they purchased 5 studios to like bring them in-house to develop third-party games because the biggest thing about the Xbox One generation, the lack of exclusive. The exclusive titles were missing. They were lacking. They were terrible. Sony was blowing the doors off of them with exclusives. So I thought when Microsoft purchased all these studios that they would have better exclusives. And we've been almost 7 years into the cycle, whatever. Those platforms were brought over 2 or 3 years ago, whatever. And yesterday wasn't all that impressive. Like, what have those studios been doing? Like, is that the best they can do? Literally, is that the best they can do with your next generation hardware? Like, where are the games, Microsoft? Where are they?
The thing is, it's early days. Let's put it this way. It's early days, right? We are looking at least, if these consoles hold up and they don't need a mid-cycle refresh like what you had with the Pro and the X models, we are looking at maybe 6 to 8 years tops, right? Or if we scale it back, we're looking at 5 to 7 years tops. So it's a long road ahead. What's great about these consoles now is that there's a less likely chance that they will need a mid-cycle refresh, because actually what's in these consoles technically are more powerful than what you would find in a PC. If not more powerful, which is a subjective thing if you're looking at how you're going to measure the power output, they are not available on PC, especially when you look at the graphics side. The graphics that are being made by AMD that powers it are not available on PC yet, which is obviously the RDNA 2 based on the Navi architecture. That's not, you can't buy a graphics card with RDNA 2 on PC yet. Eventually you will be able to, maybe end of the year or the beginning of 2021. But the fact that you can't versus where they started off at PS4, where these chips that they were putting in there, especially the CPUs, let alone the graphics, were, I mean, they were a good amount behind. So already, based on the advantage that you get with consoles being much better optimized, look, I'm PC Master Race. PC guys, you just got to accept that consoles are just better optimized. You see, they just are. They just are. It's just the nature of it. But as well as the technical performance, Microsoft really have to get creative with not just the IPs that we know that they're going to bring, your Fables, your Halos, your Gears of Wars, but what are going to be the surprise ones that will make you stand on your feet?
Yeah,
I bet anyone, go back and watch the E3 reveal of God of War being remade for PS4. I get bored sometimes and I go back and watch it because I get goosebumps by how they did the reveal of Kratos being remade. I'm talking about the orchestra that they used, how, you know, the new voice actor that they used, obviously using Atreus with Boy, and the reveal, the fight combat, everything was just like, yo, this is a whole, like, you know, they need to bring that kind of energy that will get people sucked in, like, yo, this is not the Microsoft we know. Like, we know them to be Microsoft, but this is like,
I mean, they're literally Microsoft. They're not Microsoft. They're Microsoft, because we didn't get nothing yesterday. All right, so even though I don't know if I agree with the way Microsoft is launching the Xbox Series X, I think one thing that they might be doing better than Sony is gearing up for the future. Everybody keeps talking about Xbox Game Pass and how that's such a big deal, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care about that because I'm a grown man. I'm an adult. I don't have time to be playing all these different 100 games and whatnot. I just want to buy a game and have it and when I want it. I don't want to keep paying monthly for games that I'll probably never play because I don't have time to play them. But I know everybody's into the whole Xbox Game Pass thing. It seems like Microsoft is trying to become the Netflix of video games, and I guess that's cool. But I don't know if that's something that you should be focusing on right now when you're trying to launch the console. Because, Ben, I feel like the most important thing when you're trying to launch a next-generation console is giving consumers a reason to buy your console. And right now, Sony is doing 1,000 times a better job of getting me to buy a PS5 than Microsoft to buy an Xbox Series X.
I'm buying a PS. Listen, just for Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Right.
Ratchet and Clank, Gran
Right.
Turismo, Spider-Man.
Right.
Just those four alone. just those four alone. It's like, yo,
Look at his face, y'all. Do y'all see the glee in his face? Do you see the joy in his face? That's what I'm talking about.
you can't. When I saw that trailer where Miles pulled his mask off and he was and I was thinking, okay, my mind was okay, Spider-Man, you know. And then when I saw Miles's face, I was like, I'm buying a PS5. Miles is getting a shine. I don't care. The fact that Miles is getting a shine, I am backing that all the way. Are you dumb? That's crazy. So, but like Game Pass, yeah, by principle is very consumer friendly. I've had Game Pass before, and if you're a person that's on Windows, I've got mine is more of an editing PC, but it can game as well. I've got a GTX 1650 Super, 4 GB of VRAM, a Ryzen 3600, 16 GB of RAM. It can game, right? Mm-hmm. If you are in the UWP Microsoft what do you call it? Subscription service, where if let's just say I've got Gears of War 5, the fact I have Gears of War 5 on my PC, on my Xbox, I have the same game. I don't need to buy it twice. Great. I love that. It's very consumer friendly. But what Microsoft need to do, they need to go back to their 360 roots where they gave people a reason to buy the system, right? Till this day, I still have goosebumps, and I still remember vividly playing as Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War 1 and having a berserker right in front of me, right? Just coming. And it looked so real because I've never experienced something like that before. I froze and I just got killed because I was like, this is such a generational leap from sound design, art design, voices, like everything felt so much more visceral, where just trying to kill this big like berserker, my hands were trembling. That's that kind of immersiveness that made me want to buy a 360 that I was not getting from the PS3 until right at the end. We're talking about right at the end when Uncharted was in its prime, and then Last of Us closed off the PS3 and ushered in the PS4 and had a remaster. Do you see what I'm saying? Sony really got off the foot late because they realized that, whoa, Microsoft did that. We need to take a leaf off that book. And then it's like coming into the Xbox One series, Microsoft just let that go. Literally. And Sony just ran with it.
Yep.
You know, so that's my take, man. That's my take. It's consumer friendly, which I'm all for, but you should, like what you're saying, be putting your best foot forward to make sure that you're giving people an incentive to focus purely on the system that you're trying to build, and then slide in the fact that, hey, we got Game Pass as well.
Right. Game Pass should be an afterthought. It shouldn't be the core focus of a next generation console launch. That is where Microsoft is falling off. And I am not a big fan. Like I said, I'm an OG gamer. I've been gaming since the Atari days. So I'm used to buying my games all up front and not have to worry about patches and things like that. So this whole games as a service ideology, I don't really jive with that. I know it's a big deal these days with games like Fortnite and Destiny and all that crap, but I want the whole game up front. I don't want the potential of a game. I don't buy my tech on potential. I don't want to buy my video games on potential. I don't buy things on potential. I buy them as they exist right now. Right. So Microsoft needs to understand that I need whole ass games up front and not, oh, it's going to be on Game Pass so you can update, it'll be updated, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. I'm not interested in Game Pass. I don't have time to experience and take full advantage of Game Pass. So I want the whole game up front. I don't want a day one patch. I don't want patches in like a year or whatever. I don't have to purchase more parts of the game when they become available. I want the whole game up front. I'm not really down with this whole ideology of microtransactions throughout the history of a video game life cycle. Ugh, it makes my skin crawl. I don't like it.
Let me even drop this gem. If there's a perfect definition of why it's about the games, Nintendo Switch.
Woo!
If it mattered so much about technical performance, this console would not be selling like hotcakes. This is the weakest console, and it's more than a generation behind. We're talking about technical performance. Even when docked, this is way behind. This console cannot output when docked to a 4K TV. It only outputs a 1080p. That's how behind it is, right? You don't have a disc option where you can have a Blu-ray player for the value that you're getting. But I kid you not, this console sells the most out of them because Nintendo understand that for 25 years and more, having solid intellectual property matters.
Yep.
They have been repeating the same. If we really want to pull the veil, Nintendo have been repeating the same games over and over and over and over again, from Pokemon, Smash Bros, Super Mario, Zelda, Metroid.
Yep.
Listen, they have been repeating these games. Is anyone complaining? No, because they find a new way to keep it to the core, which is the same, and reinvent their wheel every single time.
Yep.
Every single time. You see, so no matter how poor their online service is, no matter how expensive they get, like, bro, Nintendo Online is rubbish. It's so rubbish. Even for how cheap it is, it's like I would rather pay more if you guys actually put more effort into making sure that this online service was good. You see, it don't matter. People put up with all of that to have the gaming experience that they know matters, that they will not get anywhere else. Nowhere else.
And on top of that, Nintendo's adding new intellectual IPs like that fighting game ARMS and Splatoon. I don't know if that was original, but Splatoon is on there. I mean, Nintendo is doing big things. Nintendo probably has the best exclusive library out of all of these systems, which is why you can't find a Switch. I mean, even before the Corona started, you couldn't find a Nintendo Switch. Now you really can't find one. But that system has been selling like hotcakes since its inception, more or less. Because, like Ben said, they have the games and they keep bringing out banger after banger after banger. And like Ben said, it's not all about the technical specs because obviously the Nintendo Switch is like a generation and a half behind the Xbox PS4. But does that matter? No, because people are having fun playing the game because Nintendo exclusives are unlike anything else out there. And I need Microsoft to understand this because, yes, you get a lot of multi-platform Xbox between Xbox and PlayStation, but the Microsoft exclusive library is lacking and it's still lacking and it's not much for better off after yesterday. And that's why I'm probably mad more than anything because yesterday showed me nothing as far as exclusive title coming to the Xbox Series X. It really gave me no reason to want to go out and pre-order Series X. Like I said, instead of me wanting to pre-order Series X, that event yesterday made me want to rush and pre-order a PS5. Like now.
I posted a tweet that after my friend messaged me, I thought I was gonna go watch and I'm gonna be gassed. No, I watched and I was like, boy, I'm definitely buying a PS5. Like that PS5 is getting copped. It's like whichever one is available, all digital, disc, I don't care. That's the one I'm buying. Give me Miles Morales, give me an extra pad, and then I'll buy FIFA. I'll buy FIFA football for me and my son so we can play that. That's our game every year. That's our ritual. And then we're good. That's it.
Man, I already got money put aside for a PS5, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. I am ready to rock and roll. Wait, what? What? What do you mean nobody care about exclusive in Xbox? Hey, you know what? You're right. Nobody cares because they never know. They don't know what the hell good exclusive is. That's why they don't care, Mike. They don't know what good exclusive is on Xbox because you don't get them on Xbox. That's why they don't care.
They lost their touch. They lost their touch from 360 days. I remember Cliff Blazinski, Cliffy B, when it was at Epic. There's an interview that he did with IGN before he left Epic or after he left Epic, and he said that Microsoft came to them with the spec of the 360, and they told Microsoft that, yo, you need to put double the RAM in there because our Unreal Engine for this Gears of War game that we're making for you, trust me, it's gonna need it, and it's gonna cost the console a bit more, right? But in the long term, what we're gonna develop for this new IP, trust me, and we know the cultural phenomenon for the 360 that Gears of War was. We're talking about people getting tattoos. Like Gears of War was crazy big, right? So it shows the difference of what Microsoft was then versus what they are now in terms of the surprise haymakers that they can pull when they work with IPs, right? That focus on this is the reason why you buy the console first. And then these are the additionals that you get, like Sony, the whole PlayStation Plus where you get a game for free every month. They don't really shout about it. It's just something that they slide in every month.
Right.
They don't make a noise about it. It's not like their main headline, but they slide it in every month. And every month you see a game. Oh, this game's available for free. Okay, cool. I'll just download it.
Yeah,
but really, yeah, so it's that approach. It's that approach. And where the games matter. Look at Nintendo. Nintendo has the only fighting game where you can have 8 people at once fighting at the same time. Super Smash Bros.
Oh, it just got work for you, Xbox. And now we got Greg. Greg is like the Lord of Sony. What's up, Greg? How you doing, man?
Yes, Greg. What's good?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Ben? How you doing, Viper?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
I saw someone in the chat earlier who said, bring Garg here on Twitter. He said the iPhone has the most powerful processor, but the Asus ROG Phone 3 is the undisputed most powerful mobile processor. I don't think so. So just want to.
The Asus ROG runs a Snapdragon. Try again.
It's not the most powerful processor. He said I got trolled. You got trolled, and sorry about that. So I just wanted to call that person out and troll him because he's wrong.
They're wrong, very wrong. But Greg, I don't know if you watched the Xbox Game Showcase yesterday. I've been reading for like the last 40 minutes about how I saw nothing there that made me want to get an Xbox Series X. What are your thoughts, Greg?
It wasn't looking good, as you can probably tell from my Twitter response. The games they showed off didn't interest me. Even Halo, I thought the Halo presentation was actually kind of boring. It looked pretty similar to every other Halo game that we've played. And I get it. Halo's a big exclusive. A lot of people like Halo games. But when you're coming in after like Sony shows off like the new Spider-Man game, getting all that hype and stuff like that, to just drop us in like the Halo world and show us like the same gameplay we've been playing for the last 20 years, I thought it was kind of cheesy. I'm like, this doesn't look that good. The graphics on it also, I gotta say, for like a brand new console where they're trying to like really hype it up and tout all these specs and how powerful it is, man, that new Halo game looked like the same one you'd find on like an Xbox One X.
Yeah,
right.
And I think the reason for that I think there's actually a reason for that because Microsoft is making a huge mistake here. I was trying to listen to your conversation a little bit earlier. I didn't catch all of it, but Microsoft, I don't know if you guys mentioned this, they're making it so that every game for the first 2 years has to run on the old Xbox and the new Xbox. And that's the completely wrong way to go about it because that holds back the games for the next generation because they still have to support that old hardware. That's something that PCs kind of have to do. They kind of have to keep support around for like older spec stuff. But that's always been like one of the strengths of consoles. When you have a new generation, right from the get-go, you could just get some like really awesome games right out of the gate. That was a problem last generation with Destiny. The first Destiny game had a lot of limitations because it had to support older gen consoles. And they were quick to come out with Destiny 2 to drop support for the old consoles. And then ever since then, they've been doing a lot better stuff with that game. So I don't know why Microsoft is doing this, especially when you're probably going to have to spend a lot of money to get this console. It doesn't look like there's really any reason to get it. At least
None.
Nah.
You had a whole game showcase to give us reason to rush out and want to pre-order an Xbox Series X, and you failed miserably, Microsoft. You failed. And like, go ahead.
Do you know the only reason that one of my guys has told me that he's getting an Xbox Series X is because he's an avid 4K Blu-ray collector. That's it. That's it. And no. It may seem like I'm trolling, but genuinely, that's the reason he gave me.
No, I believe it.
He gave me that reason, and I'm thinking, if that's your only incentive, a 4K Blu-ray drive, bro, you need to. And I think Sony undercut them and used their own game plan against them, all digital. Microsoft were the ones that stepped into all digital. And then all of a sudden, Sony just thought, all right, cool, we like that idea. We missed that. We're going to use that to undercut you. Boom. Straight away. And for someone like me, that I said it in my video, I am not going to be buying a disc version console because I've got kids and the cartridges for this Nintendo Switch, they've broken 2 of them. That's £100 worth of games down the drain. I'm never buying a physical media game while I still have kids. No, I don't care how much more expensive it is, but however much cheaper that cartridge was then, it don't matter because I can't play those games. They're damaged. Same with discs. You see, so that already Sony have made me as a sensible dad that still wants the game much easier, much more at peace to just go buy it. Boom.
And here's another difference that probably going to be in Sony's favor. they're coming out with 2 versions of the PS5. One with a physical digital edition and one with an all digital. I think the way Microsoft is doing it, they're coming out with the Xbox Series X, which will have it's probably gonna have a disc drive in it. But then they're coming out with the Lockhart, which is gonna be an all digital edition probably, but it's gonna have lower specs. What is that? Like what? Like why would you do that? Like so, if I want an all digital experience, I got to be penalized if I buy an Xbox. I mean, now, this is not confirmed. I mean, this is just what we think. But if that's the way they're going, they lost already for real.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
The only reason why they won't lose for real, if I'm talking about the price has to be so low where it's gonna make you think like it makes no sense how they're pricing it this low. How? That is the only reason why this Xbox Series S or Lockhart version is gonna work.
Yep.
That's the only way. Price, like you cannot underestimate how much price can make you forgive how poor certain things are. Price can be a very good forgiving factor for a lot of things, even when you're critiquing it and you know that, oh, they should have done better here, but actually for the price, it makes sense. They could have done better, but for the price just keeps reeling back like an old dialer phone that has that circle where you just select a number and it goes right back to where it started. It's
we finally got an Xbox person on the stream. Trenton, you got to say Xbox because we are burying them. Do you have anything to defend Xbox tonight, Trenton? Because right now it's not looking good, baby.
So, all right, I got a couple of opinions. Okay. All of my opinions are coming from someone that prefers Xbox and really doesn't care about going to PlayStation.
Okay.
So that's where I'm coming from. Now, I understand where everybody else is coming from, where everybody is looking at this like Xbox versus PS5, which is the better one. I get that, right? And I would say that Xbox dropped the ball. But I will also say this, just like everybody says this about Apple, it's the experience that some people like that, you don't get on PS5. So like, for instance, for me, right? I am fully in the Hulu loop or whatever, right? Like I use Hulu as my main cable or whatnot, right? So if I'm going to go out and choose between a PS5 and choose between an Xbox, well, currently on PS4, this may change later, there is no support for live TV on Hulu. So I cannot watch basketball games live. I can't watch anything else live. If it's something on TV and it's live, I cannot watch it on the PlayStation, at least in that system or whatnot. I can only do that on Xbox. Also, the media player for me on Xbox is way better and reads a lot easier than it does as far as file types on PS5. Now, maybe I might be doing something wrong, but overall, I have just had a better overall media and gaming experience with the Xbox instead of the PlayStation PS4. And I've gone back and forth between the two. I've had PS4, then I had Xbox, and I had PS4 and Xbox, and went back and forth. But most of my friends are on Xbox. Most of the games that I purchased are on Xbox. So for me and for a lot of other Xbox people, it does not make a whole lot of sense to go all the way over to PS5 and then buy all of those games all over again.
Okay. The only thing that I will have to say to you is that you make very valid points about the media capabilities of Xbox over PlayStation. But I would argue when we are talking about next generation console, that is probably going to be the furthest from anybody's mind when they're making a choice whether they want an Xbox or a PlayStation. When we are talking about next generation console, we're talking about games and gameplay. I mean, yes, it's nice that these consoles have those media capabilities, but nobody's thinking about that when they're trying to decide whether to buy an Xbox Series X or PS5.
Right. And trust me, I totally agree. I agree with what everybody's saying in the chat about games. I'm just saying from my point of view,
your point of view,
and from the point of view of other people out there that exist, but don't exactly have that voice. Because to be honest, if I'm going to go out and shell out, let's say anywhere between $400 to $600 on a device, and I'm a regular person, and let's say I'm not necessarily a gamer, yeah, it can play games, but what else can it do? You know, like I'm looking at the overall package. I'm looking at, you know, Blu-ray support, which obviously we've had for years. I'm looking at whether or not if I can still use the web browser, because to be honest, some people actually use their Xbox like a PC. So I understand where I'm totally in a different camp, but we can talk about games for sure.
Gotcha. Uh-oh. Finally, where you been, Mike? We've been waiting for you, man. We've been waiting for you.
Y'all see where I'm at. I'm in IKEA right now.
Mortal Kombat Mike.
You better come on. You better
Listen.
come on here and save Xbox, and Xbox getting buried out here, man. What's going on, Mike?
I have no need to save Xbox because Xbox does not need to be saved. So there's nothing to
Might
save.
be. It might be. They
about
didn't keep it
Xbox.
hot this last time. They sold like half.
See, here's
Like a
the thing.
divorce. They're so
Here's-
half like a divorce.
Here's the thing. I hear what all of y'all are saying, but Viper, what you just said is the reason why I had to come on in, because it's not about if you play Xbox, you don't really give a damn about exclusive games.
What?
You don't really care about that.
Clearly, you don't.
Because
Mike's taking my point, but go ahead.
Clearly,
I'm saying nobody cares about exclusive games when you play an Xbox. When I
That's
when
right.
I play my
Agreed.
Xbox, I jump in to play the Xbox with all of my friends who have an Xbox. I join the party with all of my friends, and that's how I stay in touch with people. I could give a damn about what exclusive game is on the new Series X. All of my friends are upgrading to the Series X, so I'm gonna upgrade to the Series X. That's the end of it. I don't make my purchase decision off of, oh well, because Sony has better exclusives, I'm gonna jump ship. I've been playing Xbox since the first generation Xbox. I'm not jumping ship just because they don't have enough exclusive games for everybody. I don't really give a damn like that.
Man, that is spoken like a true Xbox hero, man. You are the hero that Xbox needs right now.
Well, and the thing is, before anybody tries to say I'm a fanboy, I have a PS4 at home too. So I play the PS4 for exclusive games, and I play the Xbox for multiplayer games that I can play with my friends. Where the hell is this tabletop?
So
Cut my camera
that's something I wanted to piggyback off, because I was going to bring up that point about games. Now, the main thing I keep hearing people talking about are the exclusive games. To be honest, to be 100% honest with you, I'm cool with exclusive games, but at the same time, I kind of hate the idea that I have to go out and get this one console to play this one game on. You know, I'm more of a fan of games that you can play across multiple consoles, whether you can, you know, do Fortnite and do it on Xbox, or do it on iPad, or do it on a PC. If you are into Madden and sports games and 2K and stuff like that. But it is a huge pain point for me. You know, like, okay, Spider-Man came out, I think it was 2 years ago, and you had got the PS4 Spider-Man version, Viper.
Yep.
Right. So that game, and I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man, I had already purchased an Xbox. Now, later on, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to go down and get a PS5. And then I got rid of the Xbox because I didn't see the need to have two consoles in one house. I went out, I got the PS5, I got the game. I played the game for about 2 months. I beat it. I did everything that there was to do in there. And I'm like, okay, what else is there for me? There was God of War, and then there was Kingdom Hearts, and then that was it. Like, there is not enough exclusive games for someone to completely jump from one system to another and keep you there. And that's kind of like the problem that I have with the whole exclusive things. Like, if somebody wanted to play Halo, I'd be like, look, just go play at someone's house, or, you know, borrow it from somebody or whatnot. I would not tell somebody to shell out all that money for one or two, maybe even three exclusive games that they're going to like.
Well, I can do you one better than that, Trent. Here's the thing. Does PlayStation have game share? I don't think it does.
yeah, it does.
It does?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay. Well,
It's had it for a while, and we're talking about like game share where the other person doesn't need to have the game.
Yeah, you can play like online, and the other person doesn't have to have it, and like
Yeah.
we do this. We do the same thing with Xbox. That's why I was asking. Because because we do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's another thing about it. It's like, oh, I don't have the exclusive game. Well, my homeboy does, so I'll just play it off of his game. Like, it's not that serious.
All right. So there was a question on the Tech Fight recently The question was, should Android OEM be made to sell their phone with only stock Android? If that were the case, that means every Android phone from Google to Samsung to LG, they will all run stock Android. So the question then becomes, what goes into which one would you buy? Because essentially they will be all the same devices. They're running stock Android. There will be nothing to differentiate these devices.
I can
that's
easily
not
answer
true.
that, man.
I was gonna say that's not true. That's not true, because if you're still buying it based off of the hardware, then you're gonna get Samsung's camera hardware. You're gonna get Vivo's camera hardware. You're gonna get Huawei. You're not gonna get the same. It's not gonna be the exact same phone across the board. If that's the case, then all Android OEMs need to just call it quits, and everybody just needs to have a Pixel. If that's the case.
Now, the Google Play Edition, I think people are forgetting the Google Play Edition. All they need to do is maybe bring back a form of the Google Play Edition phones where a small amount of these OEMs pick maybe one phone. It doesn't even have to be their top end phone, just one of their phones where it has to be part of. I would love for Google to be like, if you want to use Android, right, you have to at least pick one of your phones that has to be part of the Google Play Edition program. That phone necessarily doesn't have to be on contract, right? But it sits on our Play Store, and it's a model that is part of the Google Play Edition program. And then people, if they want to buy it and experience your hardware, but with our software control, where we can at least bring some form of cohesiveness and guarantee that people can get between 3 to 5 years of software updates, right? To still allow some form of open sourceness to Android, but a level of control that we can guarantee that any exploits, any features, any security vulnerabilities, people can experience it for a longer period of time and a much more consistent performance on the phones over a period of time. It can be done. It can be done. Google Play Edition was there.
Yeah, it was there, and they went away for whatever reason. I think my point was more so that we got one guy who said he doesn't care about exclusive. The other guy said it's a pain point to like buy a console for exclusive. But my argument is, when you have two consoles that are pretty close in their hardware capabilities, it really comes down to the software experience on the Xbox and the PS5. What?
It does. Look. The software experience cuts on both ways. How Trenton and Mike have explained their software experience is more from a media point of view, right? A networking point of view. We all know that in terms of online gaming for consoles, Microsoft were the ones that pioneered it, and effectively still does it the best on a consistent basis. Not that PlayStation doesn't.
Right.
That's a niche. Like I said before, one of the reasons my friend told me that he's looking forward to getting an Xbox One X is because he had a great media experience with the 4K Blu-ray player, and he's selling his Xbox One X to be able to get that on the Xbox Series X. And then he's most likely later on down the line going to buy a digital edition of the PS5 for the exclusive games. But his home entertainment system, and what people don't realize is most 4K Blu-ray players, if you spend cheap, they don't get firmware updates to support later on down the line the DHCP encryption protection on Blu-ray movies down the line, whereas consoles do. Consoles are the most valuable long-term disc players, whether it's normal Blu-ray or 4K Blu-rays, that will always get support. So there's value in that. And most of the time, what you end up finding out is that consoles are either cheaper or the same price as the equivalent Blu-ray players, whether it's normal or 4K. So I get it from that incentive, right? And this is what I said before, that when it comes to Microsoft's business model, their business model is more consumer friendly. It is more consumer friendly. It makes more sense. But at the end of the day, from a R&D perspective of how much money that they've spent to make the most powerful consoles generation back to back, I think it's a waste of money if you're not enticing people to be able to buy the system.
Yep.
I think why have you spent all that money on R&D if you're not going to hook, line, and sink people into having to buy the system? And we all know the strongest way to buy systems is exclusives. That's why this console, this Nintendo Switch, with how weak it is, sells in its drones. It works. Why are we arguing that? It works.
I mean, right now it seems like the Xbox Series X is just another way to get people into the Microsoft ecosystem And I mean, you can do that with an Xbox.
Yeah, without
One.
buying the system, without buying the actual system.
Right. We talking about launching the system. Microsoft talking about getting into their ecosystem. I mean, why would I buy an Xbox Series X if I want to enter the Microsoft ecosystem? I can just buy Xbox One or Xbox One X or whatever and do it that way.
But that's the
Xbox
thing.
One.
But that's the thing. You can go buy that, and you'll be perfectly fine. The people who
Mike,
play Xbox are gonna buy the Series X because we want the Series X. That's the thing. It's not. Nobody's arguing exclusives. I love exclusives, but I saw a comment in the chat that the poets put. It's almost the same concept. I bought Battlefield 5. And I didn't buy Battlefield 5 because I wanted to play the awesome story mode. I bought Battlefield 5 because I wanted to play co-op. I bought Spider-Man. I bought God of War. I'm about to buy The Last of Us next week. Or The Last of Us 2, I should say. Because because the PS4 is a system that when I say I want to just sit down and run through a game by myself, that's what I play the PlayStation for. When I want to play a game where I want to be in a party with 15 people, I go play the Xbox, and that's the argument that I'm making. It's not necessarily about exclusives. It's just about.
But I feel like the argument's invalid because you can do all that stuff on any PlayStation console. You can also play in a party with your friends.
But if 97% of the people that you play with have the Xbox, then why would I go buy?
I guess, but I mean, raw statistics. There's more people playing PS4 than this Xbox. PS4 outsells Xbox 2-1. So statistically. More of your friends would probably be on PS4. Now, I know that's not the case. Everyone has a friend group. Maybe it's leaning more towards one way. I know all my friends have PS4s, but I'm also like the tech guy in my friends group. So I make sure to tell them to get the better system to go play that. So I don't know. I feel like you could influence your friends pretty easily. Be like, we should get PS5 this generation and enjoy the exclusives and also play online together.
Hey, Greg, if you're willing to buy me one, then I will.
Right. Hey, there we go. There you go, Trent. There you go. If I tell all of my friends, hey guys, the PlayStation 5 is the better system, the first thing that everybody's gonna say, well, is you buying me a damn PlayStation 5? Because my money's set aside for an Xbox Series X.
I knew Trenton had to be the one. Had to be.
Because it's facts. It's facts.
Well, you know what, guys? I think it's time to reconsider your friends and get some friends that are going Sony. If you want to be my friend, I'll play some PlayStation with you.
Greg.
Wow. Yo, shout out to Rashid for the super chat, sir. Thank you. He said, give us the ability to do a system-wide theme change. Default will be the OEM experience, and within advanced setting, a toggle to switch to the stock experience. So I guess he's talking about like having a phone that has a dual OS on it. That'll be cool. To have like a phone that runs Samsung One UI, then mode that you can run stock Android, definitely.
That's like telling somebody to switch to Android and you just bought a brand new iPhone.
No, look, guys, honestly, the whole Game Pass, your Xbox ID, the achievements, that thing matters. It's not that it doesn't. But where I want to go back to as well is, let's remember the original Xbox One reveal with the online mandatory and the focus on a home entertainment system versus Sony that went straight for gaming, for the gamers, for the players. We all know the response. We know how Phil Spencer had to step in because of how poor the reveal of the Xbox One was because of that whole entertainment system. The entertainment system aspect matters, right? And then obviously the value perspective of now the competition being so high and the accessibility of technology being so great, having it purely dedicated for gaming might seem poor value, but actually it's a gaming console. So you got to nail that right and get people sucked in before anything else. That's how I see it, you see. So the strength of that comes where most of the games that we see in this generation or the past decade that went, a good amount of the game of the years, right? Especially the intellectual property games, the IP games, were on Sony. Facts. Literally. If not God of War, if not Horizon Zero Dawn for the graphical accolades that it got, fun games like, what you call it, Ratchet and Clank, Detroit Being Human, right? Order 1866. There's a bag of games. Last of Us, Uncharted, 2 of the Uncharted games from number 4 to, I think, what is it? The Lost Odyssey with the chicks. So like when it comes to the amount of IP games as well, for a decent amount of people, there's a lot. There's a lot, and that's not even accounting for Insomniac games like Infamous as well.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I understand that Microsoft are doing some things over there like Xbox Game Pass, which are definitely pro-consumer and things like that. But my argument again, when you are launching a next generation console, your main focus should be trying to convince people to buy that console.
But I think
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think all right. Trent made a comment earlier about that's like based off of what Greg said. It's like telling somebody to go buy a new iPhone. I'm gonna approach it from this perspective. The argument that everyone is making against Microsoft, the argument that everyone is making against Microsoft right now is not an argument that is based on current players. It's based off of new customers that may want to buy one. And
I agree with that.
I will give you guys that. For someone who has never owned an Xbox, yes, you should probably try to entice your new customers more. But the Xbox fan base is almost just as similar as an Android fan base or an iPhone fan base. 9 times out of 10, the people who are going to go buy the Series X are already in the Xbox ecosystem, which is why I said we don't care about exclusives. We don't care about being enticed. We already made our minds up. Oh, there's a new Xbox coming out in 2020. I'm putting money aside.
Nah, fair play.
Oh,
I can't fault that.
Well, let's talk about that, Mike.
Wait a minute, but Mike acknowledged that he has a PS4 as well. So he says, like, are you planning on getting a PS5 eventually too to play some of the exclusives? Because I got to tell you, I only got the PS4 this generation, and I never felt the need to actually go out and buy an Xbox One.
I bought the Xbox because one of my friends had a PlayStation 4 right after I got married, and he was playing Spider-Man shortly after it came out. And I loved the way the game looked. I thought it was probably one of the coolest games I've ever seen. So I went, lucky for me, we had enough money on our Target registry left over still, and I bought it. And I played the mess out of that game. But here's the thing: when I was done playing we
lost him.
We lost him to the caverns of IKEA, and they're
why is your display picture of Corona? Oh, this guy.
That's fair for you.
Because I'm drinking it and they're not paying me for it.
Listen, I really listen. If you want to get Xbox, you want to get it with your friends. I get it, and I get some people buy Call of Duty and Madden, and that's like the only games they play every year. They're not going to even bother looking at any of the exclusives that Sony has. But as someone who is actually like really into gaming and like new ideas in gaming, if I had to pick one console for the next generation, and not even talking about the Switch because the Switch is awesome. Yeah, it's got to be PlayStation, just based on my love of games and what they're putting out there. Now, I'm probably planning on getting all three of them as much as I pick on Xbox. But
I mean, we're techies, man. It's standard procedures.
Yeah, I really like what Sony's doing, and I like to give Xbox I like to talk smack about it because I hope Microsoft changes and invests more into the games themselves, because I feel like it's been like the same story like every time. It's like, oh, here's a new console. All right, we got Halo and Forza. Thank you. And it's like, oh, what about no? Well, can anyone think of like an exclusive Xbox game that came out in 2020? I feel like Xbox is always there for like the first couple years of the system, and then like the last 2 years, it's like a ghost town. It's like you get like obviously like all the third party stuff because both systems get that, but first party stuff. I can't think of any Xbox exclusives off the top of my head in 2020.
But here's the thing, though.
Surprise ones.
I understand where you guys are going with exclusives as far as, Xbox or Microsoft developing this exclusive game for the system. But to be honest, where the market is in cross-platform, okay? The games that people care mostly about are going to be your mass, big cross-platform games. Like the exclusives, they're nice, they're cool, but they don't need exclusives to really win at anything. In my opinion, that's just me. Like if I'm a kid, right? And this is the other thing I look at. If my parents are getting me a PS5 or an Xbox, I'm more happy about the system and what I can get with it than saying, Mom, I have to have PS5 because I have to play as Miles Morales. You know, that's a very, very small part of the entire.
My son told me that.
wheel.
My son's a big Spider-Man fan, so just for that reason alone, he
I mean-
has told me he wants a PlayStation just to counteract that.
I know, but that's still a small market because you're gonna have. I hate to say it, you're gonna have plenty of people that are like, "Who the hell is Spider-Man?"
What? Nah.
All right.
No,
Bro.
let me step in. real quick.
bro.
So going back, to
Spider-Man?
my
Who
argument,
is Spider-Man? Nah, Trent.
Go to somebody who's a diehard NBA 2K whatever player and be like, "Look, man, I want you to switch systems because Spider-Man."
No, but he's gonna know Spider-Man though. He's gonna know Spider-Man.
Right, but
Knowing
it's not
Spider-Man.
going to be on his level to where it's like, "Oh my God, I have to leave where I am for this exclusive." That's only a certain target group of people.
But I feel like the argument is kind of invalid considering all those games will also be on PlayStation. So why not just get the PlayStation? Because maybe one of these exclusives, there might be a chance that you might want to check it out after you're done playing. Like,
so
Madden or
that
whatever.
argument makes sense if you've never owned a gaming system and this is your first gaming system that you have to pick between the two.
Why?
And you want no,
Why do you need to keep going with the same one? Like, what real benefit is that?
No, hear me out. This entire argument only makes sense, right? Where you're coming from, if you've never owned either system.
Why?
If you've never owned Xbox or if you never owned PS4, because what you're doing is you're balancing out the value proposition, right? Because obviously, if you've owned an Xbox and you like Xbox, right? If you're completely fine with Xbox, then a lot of the stuff that people are bringing up aren't going to drag you over to PS4 unless you're sick and tired of Xbox. The same thing if you are constantly a PlayStation person, you like the controller, you like the way it looks, you're completely in the Sony ecosystem or whatever you want to call it. What's going to drag you over there? All the stuff seems to be very inconsequential, in my opinion.
What is the console ecosystem? I really just don't get like what are the benefits of going with like the same system for like the next,
so for
if you
me,
decide
right,
every 7 years what console you're gonna get. So it's a once in a 7-year purchase, hopefully if it doesn't break. What's the lock-in of staying with Xbox? Why not just jump ship and go to the new console?
Okay, so for me and for some other people, I like the Xbox controller a whole lot better than I like the PS controller.
But the PS5 has a new controller that I must say looks pretty similar to like an Xbox controller.
No, because the analog stick button placement.
Oh,
you mean the cross diagonal?
I got you.
Yeah. So like that
okay.
that is a major thing for me because I went to PS4, I tried it out. I just hate where the sticks are. And like I said, this is just me talking about my experience. I personally had a better experience with Xbox, and there are going to be people out there who have better experiences with either Xbox or PS5. You could have somebody that has their experience with PlayStation, and let's say Xbox was better and they had all this better stuff, but that stuff does not add to their experience or trying to switch over to another system, because there are some people out there that just love to stay with the same thing. They love to stay with what they know. So that's the part that I'm coming from. Like, I'm not trying to disparage PlayStation or anything like that, but that's where I kind of come back with the argument of, is this enough for me to switch a console, switch out controllers, switch out the way I'm used to doing stuff to go to another console? Now, if you want to own both, sure, own both. But that's kind of like, I'm going to
interject
sitting with that.
This is where I was, right? When the PlayStation and the Xbox One came out, PlayStation 4, it was around December 2013.
Yep.
And my firstborn, my son, was born a month after. Yeah. So he's lived through the generation of now he's turning 7 this year to get a PS5. At that time, I was just becoming a dad, just pretty much got married a year after, right? So this is where statistically, PlayStation's business model is highly going to make them win because there is still a lot more new people that are going to be buying these consoles as either just turning teenagers into young adults becoming dads, right? People leaving college, people getting their own job. There is so much people still gaining their own independence that will be faced with the same decision I was faced when I was going to buy either an Xbox One or PS4 first. And I ended up buying a PS4 because just the initial titles alone, forget the titles that came after. Just the initial titles alone was enough for me to be like, yo, I'm pulling the trigger on that because these games speak to me. And then the cross-platform games, like your FIFA, like your Madden, like your NBAs, were something where I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Yearly in UK is football, right? As you guys call it, soccer, but it's football. We play with the feet, not the hands. So it's that game that I was able to buy with Infamous First Son. Would you call it with Infamous, where I was able to play that game. And do you know what made me happy that I bought Infamous, for example? When I was playing that game as a first player game, my wife sat there and watched me play the whole game. And I asked her, why are you watching me games? Like, that's not a game I'm watching. It's like I'm watching you play a movie. And that spoke to me for someone that actually isn't a gamer that can sit there and watch a gamer play a first person game that they're not part of playing and be like, I just want to watch you play it because it looks like I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
So the fan base for each platform are going to be there because obviously, like you said, they value the ergonomics of their pad. They value the game ID that they've built with all their achievements, maybe all the free games that they've purchased or gotten for free with their monthly subscription, all of that. That's an enticement. But what you have to understand is the newer generation coming in, there's still a lot more people where, honestly, based on track record, with Nintendo and what Sony are doing, Microsoft are in a very, very sticky situation where they might not win it out this year based on system sales and the accolades that the consoles are going to get. That's what I think.
All right, I'm going to go back to my original argument here. When you are launching a next generation console, right now we got Xbox Series X versus PS5. As a console maker at Microsoft, at Sony, your main objective should be to convince potential buyers why they should buy your console.
That system.
On Sony's side, we got Sony concentrating on PS5 games. On Microsoft's side, they even said that you don't have to worry about buying an Xbox Series X for 2 years because every new game that comes out from now until 2022 will be supported on Xbox One. How does that convince me to buy an Xbox Series X when Microsoft is still trying to drag the Xbox One people along? Like, that's not how you sell a new console. That's not how
that's not how you sell a new console. I agree with that, and that totally makes sense. But I also look at the fact that not everyone that is going out to get a console for the first time is going to go buy the highest end model.
That's true.
So I look at it as, okay, one of the pain points that I had back when I had PlayStation 3, it was when I finally got into it, and it was like the PS3 Slim. The games weren't backwards compatible, right?
True.
And that was a huge pain point for me. And it was a huge pain point for a lot of people because it was like you played all these wonderful, awesome PS2 games that now you can't play them on PS3. So at least this way, Microsoft is saying, look, we're coming out with our brand new flagship whoop-de-doo super thing, whatever. But you don't have to buy that to still be able to play the newer titles and to keep up with stuff. You can still go out and get an Xbox One S, which will be on sale, which will be cheaper. It's going to be around Black Friday time, Christmas time, sales time, all that stuff. Even the fact that you can't find an Xbox One S inside of a Walmart is hilarious. Yep. Because people are people, And parents are parents. With the way stuff is going on right now, I'm not looking at buying an Xbox One X for my kid. If my kid wants an Xbox, what's the cheapest Xbox I can get him to where he can get a similar, if not almost the same experience? And that's where I think, okay, Microsoft might be a little bit better off now with the way the whole economy and all that stuff is going. It doesn't excuse what they were doing with some of the launch, but I'm looking at it from a different lens of who in their mind
Greg is ready.
Is looking at spending that much for a console for their kid.
Go ahead, Greg.
Greg is ready. Come on, Greg. Give it to them.
Trent made such a good argument, but I gotta crush his dreams now. If this was a Saturday Night Tech Fight, I would win. It's a good argument that people could go out and buy the cheaper consoles, but Microsoft has officially said they stopped production of Xbox One X and Xbox One S. That's why you can't find them anymore.
They stop that. Yeah, but Apple stops production of phones every single year, and people buy them on third party and second party markets.
I got a feeling that there's not going to be as many Xboxes around. I just don't know. I feel like it's not the same scale as iPhone, but
people are still going.
Let me even say this:
if I can say
buying consoles that aren't made.
Mike, you ain't said nothing yet.
I was going to say, if I can say one thing, I just want to say one thing. I think this is going to be a tech fight this season. So put that out there.
Yeah.
all right. Bring me in. But I can't argue Xbox. Normally I can argue the other side, not this time.
So let me put it this way, Trent. What you've said, I agree with it on every level. But don't you think, as a business model, Microsoft being way too consumer friendly, it is such a waste of money on how powerful they've made this Xbox Series X? I think it's such a waste of R&D and money for you to gloat and make the technically it is the most powerful console for this generation, right? It doesn't have any variable frequency when it comes to the CPU. It doesn't have any variable frequency when it comes to the GPU. The GPU sustain, the thermal design envelope of how it's built is phenomenal for that cube shape that it has in there. Everything about it on a technical level is better. Why have you spent all that money and you are pretty much funneling people not to be enticed to actually buy that system? You're going to be selling that system at a loss anyway. Then you're going to basically start off on the wrong foot to sell it even more at a loss, as you're not going to be selling as many units as your competition. I'm just seeing it as, from a business standpoint, that makes no sense to me. Or have I missed something? To me, I just think
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to BS anybody. I really don't know two squirrels about Microsoft's business model or whatnot. I'm just an Xbox dude that likes Xbox.
and I'm going to be completely honest too. I'm going to be. Go ahead, Trent. Go ahead.
I'm the dude. I'm the old man in the room, to where I don't see where this is a big enough issue for people who are Xbox people. To me, it just comes down to, like I said, if you're someone who's looking for the maximum bang of the buck value, you want everything in the kitchen sink, and you're trying to choose between the two, then go PlayStation. But if you already are if you're already on Xbox and you enjoy Xbox, I don't see that incentive to go to PlayStation for me.
You don't even have an incentive to go to your new console, though.
What do you mean?
Like I said, Microsoft has already come out and flat out said that you don't have to worry about upgrading your Xbox for the next 2 years, because every game that comes out from now to 2022 will be supported on Xbox Series X, Xbox One S, Xbox One.
Okay, I'm gonna approach that from a different perspective, right? We're in the middle of a global pandemic. In this country alone, there are a lot of people who are not working right now.
Right.
So let's look at it from this perspective. Instead of looking at it like, oh, the Xbox Series X is DOA because Microsoft is still supporting the Xbox One. Well, maybe the people who had plans to buy one this year, but Corona and a loss of a job impacted that. Now they might breathe a little bit easier because the games that they may have wanted to play on the Series X are still supported on the system that they currently have.
Whereas if you have a PlayStation 4 and you want to play the new Spider-Man Miles Morales game, you got to shell out that $400-$500. You ain't got no choice.
And to piggyback off of that, like, you know, Viper, just like you were saying, okay, I'm not picking on you with this, but let's look at Apple. Okay, they come out with phones every single year, and they have iOS where features are available on the 2 and 3-year-old models, and you don't have to get the flagship phone this year, and you can have very similar, if not the same experience on an older phone.
Or I'll do you one better. You can have a very similar or newer experience on a phone like this one. You just won't get an ultra wide angle camera and a telephoto camera. But
the thing is, I agree. I feel that. I 100% feel that. This is why I'm saying that they are. I feel they're just being a bit too consumer friendly. I feel the fact that Sony, I think the price of that all digital PS5 will shock people at how good and accessible it is for people to not feel like they need to shell out an arm and a leg just to get a next gen console. That, I think, is a surprise hook right there. And I do agree with what you guys are saying. I think all of those are valid arguments. No, there's no ifs or buts. I'm just seeing it more from a business standpoint where I'm trying to put myself in Microsoft's shoes, where are they not bleeding a bit more money with how expensive that console is for development and R&D? I don't know.
I am the poster child for things being consumer friendly. So
which is fair.
And do we know how much the Xbox Series X is going to be?
No, not yet.
Well, we don't know anything. Everything's up in the air right now. Everything.
Okay, so we can't really discuss if they're losing money on it because we don't know what the price is yet.
Money, bro. With even last gen, even with how every console is built at a loss. It's never been no new generation console has ever been built and sold broke even or at a profit. Never. No console in every single generation you go back. And it's not going to be any different now. If anything, it's going to be worse now because they've got parts that are not available on the PC. You cannot buy an RDNA-based GPU for the PC. RDNA 2, sorry. You can't. So that in itself as a premium is going to skyrocket the cost of these consoles way much. And that Sony's not an exception. So that one I can't back, bro. The history shows it. Every new generation console is sold at a loss.
So
I think.
Greg has a point.
I think there's like a couple different arguments being made, and I feel like there's some good arguments like about like the like Xbox stuff and all that stuff, you know, like other users. But I think the core of like Viper's argument is just on like a head-to-head sales battle kind of thing and trying to win in sales numbers. So I feel like everything that's being said is still, even if you're like, well, yeah, that's very consumer friendly. Microsoft should obviously let the old system still play the games. It's gonna eat away at the sales of the newer console. So we're just, I think we're trying to argue what console is going to sell better. And if I look at history and everything I know about gaming, one thing that's going to really determine this is going to be the price of both systems. If the Xbox is $200 cheaper than the PS5, I think it'll outsell the PS5 no matter how many exclusives the PS5 has. But if they're around the same price point, history has shown us that exclusive software will make the PS5 win automatically. Mm-hmm. And we can look at this generation as well, that there's already more PS4 players by about, again, like 2-1. You know, it outsells the Xbox One 2-1. So I think that if you know, we see all the exclusives that Sony's coming out with, we saw the Xbox showcase again. It was kind of their same strategy all over again, which is, I think, is what Viper's kind of mad about. He's like, where's the new and interesting games that Sony's doing with like the Spider-Mans and stuff like that? Where's your Last of Us? Where's your Ghost of Tsushima? Yeah. Where are all these games? And even if it is being consumer friendly to let the older Xbox One play those games, and I get it, pandemic, all that stuff, I don't think that was their sales strategy, by the way. They made that decision a long time ago, right? But even if it is very consumer friendly, and it is great, right? Like more support for those people, get more life out of your system. It's also a negative for the fans that are going to buy your new system, because if you are supporting games on the older console, a design that's like 7 years old at this point, You are
Architecturally, it's
holding
true.
back the people, the first early adopters. We always talk about these early adopters with smartphones, right? The hardcore of the hardcore, the people that go buy it day one. Those are the people that really do drive the initial console growth. And those people, like saying, holding those games back, it's going to just be you're getting bad negative press. And I think you see that with this presentation. There were not too many people online, the hardcore of the hardcore, who were really excited about Xbox stuff coming out.
The comment section was
like Sony wins, PlayStation wins, because they did their game showcase, and that was like their first crack at it. And Xbox had time to prepare. They had the second mover's advantage, and they still messed it up.
So I want to jump in on that. Now, I agree with everything you said. If we were going down to sales, I'll give it to Sony because they got it. But most regular people don't care about sales. They don't care. I'm just saying, like, just so you guys can get my mentality with this. At the end of the day, there's two sides to this. There's the consumer, and then there's the business side. Now, the business side, like I said, I don't know it all, so I will concede that to you, right? But as far as with the consumer side, I get where you're saying, with the new generation console and, the people at the top and stuff like that. But there's way more people at the bottom. And I think more people will appreciate that you have the backwards compatibility. And let's say you go back, this puts the new console back 2 years. Okay, fine. I got you on that one. Or you got me on that one. I'm sorry. But even then, they don't pump out consoles every year. They don't pump out consoles every 3 years. This is such a long thing to where it might not, run out and punch you in the mouth straight out of the gate, but it may build over time, and it'll give people time to transition from the Xbox One, which is still in use, and the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S, if I said that correctly, to
Yes, you did.
an Xbox flagship, whatever, and it will be cheaper later on. So
I agree with that. And
that small minority of people who are buying it first, yeah, they're taking the loss, just like anybody else who buys a first gen product straight out of the gate. Everybody that went and bought the Samsung Galaxy Ultra S20 at $1,400, and it wasn't even, ready, but now people are picking them up for $800. That's the part that I'm trying to get at with that.
So I would say where I agree is that potentially for this generation, it might be like the generation of old with the 360 and the PS3 and the consoles before, where we might not need a mid-cycle refresh, because graphically, like, I want to come back to the graphics chips that are in there. The RDNA 2s are not available on PC. So graphically, because they are technically ahead in terms of availability, I think this generation will probably last the 6 to 8 years, the 5 to 7 years smooth without needing a pro version refresh. So that argument in terms of it being a long haul where people can transition easier into it, I think that can be an argument that can be made as well. So I feel that, like, seeing it from that perspective, I feel that. I think the message that I want to drive away is that, can Microsoft just re-spark what they did with the 360 days, where they bring up surprising IPs? We just want some off the hook IPs that will catch us off guard. We know the usual suspects, but can't they just do, like, I keep saying it, the reinvention of God of War, games like Detroit Being Human, these were surprise IPs that just came out of nowhere, that it just made you as a gamer just have the giggles, where you're thinking, like, what is this? Just that intrigueness alone got you sucked in. And I just don't think Microsoft are doing that. I hope within the 7 years that they do. I really do, because I don't think they did enough of that for the Xbox One series generation. My opinion.
I think Xbox conceded and went like, look, we're just going to be gaming / media / everything. Whereas PS5 was like, we're going to do gaming and we're going to do it better than anybody else.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Because they're both good, and they're both powerful in their own right. But I feel like, and I'm just gonna be honest, it's just, to me, this argument is just as old and tired as iPhone versus Android. Each one is good in their own respect. But it makes no sense to say, oh well, if the iPhone 12 comes out with the whatever aluminum sides or stainless steel sides like the iPhone 5S, it's game over for any other Android phone that comes out. Not really, because there's still going to be a core base of Android users who are going to still feel like their phone is the end all be all of the year. So it's just like, it's almost like a never ending argument. It's like, oh, well, PlayStation won because they dropped better exclusive games. Then Xbox users are kind of over here like, we don't really give a shit.
That's the beauty of why you've got guys like us that will never stop, because it's that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is the passion point to drive that conversation. And there's an element of bragging rights. That's why you've got companies, if I move it to cars quickly, that's why you've got companies like Koenigsegg, McLaren, and Bugatti, and Venom, right? Hennessy Venom, still chasing top speed. Why are you still chasing top speed? What's top speed going to do? If anything, what Tesla's doing for the car industry is real innovation, really moving things differently in a different direction. Still doesn't stop people trying to make and chase top speed. It's been pointless since the McLaren F1 could do 242 miles an hour from 1995. 1995. My brother wasn't born then. Is he? But it's that thing of Microsoft, for your own pride, wouldn't you want to bag this generation like what you did with the 360 generation, where that generation was practically yours? Like, for pride's sake, wouldn't you want to know that this generation, 5-7 years, definitively, people can stamp and say Xbox was definitively the best for this generation?
I don't think they.
That's how I put it as well. Wouldn't you want that?
I don't think they care. I don't think they care. I don't think the base cares either.
That is my problem. They don't care. They care more about the whole platform as a whole instead of the actual system. And the whole objective should be to sell systems. The other problem, which we are out about an hour and a half into this live stream, and I haven't even got to them. The other problem with Microsoft and the Xbox Series X is the proprietary memory card. What? What do you want? What is that? So if you want to add extra storage to your Xbox Series X, you have to buy a proprietary memory card. Whereas on Sony, you could just buy a SSD and be done with it. But we
still don't know. Have Sony clarified that?
Yeah, it has to be the spec they're using, which is not even out on the market yet, mind you. But by the time the PS5 is out, I guess it should be. But it has to be like a 5,000 whatever read-write speed, and you can use a third-party one. Right. But I mean, again, going on console history, every time someone uses use our version of a memory card, I remember PS Vita paying those memory card prices. It's always more expensive than just having it opened up. So and these, I don't even know. Like I download a game on my PS4 right now, and it is just like the biggest file size. The PS,
you're gonna need it.
That's a terabyte, right?
Yeah,
I think and the PS5 is something like weird, like 880 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
825.
825, yeah. I don't even know. Like, these games are going to be like 150 gigs, 200 gigs probably. Yep. And I'm just thinking like, man, when I got my launch PS4, it was a 500 gigabyte. Man, you could just take a third-party drive. I took a 2 terabyte drive to that so quickly and just loaded everything up on there. So I am so happy Sony's doing that again. I hope like Microsoft realizes like, hey, we got to keep these prices down. But I don't know, like history of like, oh, we have an exclusive memory format that we made usually means, hey, pay us more money. We control it. You have to get it. That's more money for us.
Now, go on,
Vyp. Sorry.
On the flip side, that might allow Microsoft to charge less for the console because they have that proprietary memory, and they know they're probably going to be expensive. So
that's a good
they
shot.
might be able to charge less for the Xbox Series X because of that proprietary memory. But yeah, it's probably going to be expensive either way. So,
I mean, there's plenty of companies out here with really proprietary stuff that I'm just saying.
So. What surprises me is that Microsoft's storage solution is less proprietary internally. versus Sony's system,
Yeah.
where internally it's more proprietary. That's a flip of the coin. Because I know when I did my video on Xbox versus PS, how PlayStation are doing it, it seems very proprietary, very state of the art, very next generation. Like even to the point where Linus of all people had to make a video to apologize for slandering it and comparing it to what is already not a standard spec PCI Express Generation 4 drive that is stupid fast. But he had to come out on record and say that me comparing it apples to apples was still wrong, because what Sony are doing with their storage solution is something that we've just never seen before. But yet Sony are pretty much opening it and saying to people that it can be done easily, versus Microsoft partnering with Seagate with these expansion slots, when I feel like you should really be able to just get an M.2 NVMe drive and be able to put it in there and go.
Right.
It's weird.
It's been that way with Microsoft forever. They're more like Apple like that, where you can't put like a replacement drive internally in the Xbox, right? You still have to just plug in an external drive.
Yeah.
Where, again, PlayStation with the PS3, again, 60 gigabyte hard drive when it launched, I was able to just take a regular 2.5 and put it in there. Same thing with the PS4. I was able to just take any standard 2.5 drive, put it in there, hard drive, SSD, whatever I wanted to do, whatever storage configuration I wanted. And it was a really inexpensive way to boost like the, because again, I'm telling you, these drives are going to fill up so quickly, especially if you're going digital. I mean, anyway, the disc games have to be like downloaded on there anyway. You're just installing them. You're not playing off disc anymore. So those things fill up so quick now.
Yes, they do.
I think the main problem with all this is like between both companies is like both are not all or nothing. Like you got, Sony, which is trying to like do max compatibility on the outside. And then, as Ben was saying, you got proprietary stuff on the inside. And then you got Xbox where they're just like, okay, some stuff we're going to overcharge you for and some stuff's going to be cheap. It'd be a little bit easier to, walk through it, where if you just had one, you're just like, look, you're just going to pay out the ass for this, but it's the best experience you're going to get. And then you had another one where it's like, well, it's not the best experience, but it's the cheapest. So boom, there you go. Like that's like the really confusing thing between the two.
And hey guys, we're just halfway through the year. It's really, really gonna be heated once we know the prices. I just want to know the prices, man.
Why don't we have Phillips screws on all of these consoles?
We're all arguing over this without knowing the price, and honestly, that will be one of the biggest determinations of how these consoles are received publicly. If Sony comes out again and does the $599 and the Series X is $400, I mean, as much as I love Sony and I'll probably still get one because I love like the design and everything, I think like Xbox is just gonna dominate the generation.
Fact.
I honestly think they're going to be the same price.
Well,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that all digital PS5 is a dark horse.
That is true.
I think that's a dark horse. This is gut feeling. This is now no evidence, no nothing. I just think gut feeling that all digital PS5 is going to be the dark horse, because I feel like the Xbox Series S, the Lockhart, is going to be underpowered.
Yep.
And then potentially the price might not be as low as we want it to be, where you're going to have this debate in question of, if I just spend a bit more and just get the all digital, I get the full next gen experience. That's where the dark horseness of the PS5 all digital is going to come in. That's just my opinion.
Well, I feel like Microsoft and Sony are both playing a game of chicken and far revealing the price.
Oh yeah,
I really think like they're gonna be pretty close in price, because Microsoft, they're not gonna make the same mistake they made 7 years ago when they overpriced the Xbox One X by $100. Like, no, they're not doing that again.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That pretty much wrote their death warrant right there when they overpriced the Xbox One X. So I mean, Xbox One. So yeah,
I remember watching that presentation like back in the day, and that was like the first one up. It was the Xbox One presentation. And at the time, all like my other friends had Xboxes, so we were all deciding like, all right, we're all gonna like vote which consoles we're gonna get, much like the friend argument. Like we want to pick a system to play online. We're watching that first presentation, and it's all like TV, television, the new experience of television. we have a Halo TV series and all this stuff about TV.
Oh, I remember that.
Like they're like going over like Connect stuff, and like every like gamer's just like, what's going on? What? And then like they like show like some games right at the end, but then they're like $4.99 with the Connect, and I was like,
The
and then at the time they're like, and you have to be constantly connected online, and you have to, you can't, if you're not connected online, you can't play. Also, you can't share games and all like this stuff. And then PlayStation just comes out. It's like, yeah, $3.99. It's more powerful. Oh, by the way, here's us sharing a game, and they like hand it to someone. It's like all this stuff. They had second mover advantage so bad. They play Microsoft so bad. And I think that's like the 360. Microsoft should have came off that with a lot more sales than they had, because they had a lot of goodwill coming out of the 360 generation, but they just bungled it so bad that it just shifted it all to PS4 this generation.
Yep. And I think Microsoft, hopefully anyway, they'll learn a lot from this past generation and do better.
Yeah.
But I think they'll be, if they're not the same price, they'll be pretty closely matching price. And I think they're going to come out a week apart from each other too. So they're going to be close in more ways than one this year too.
And listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just fun. You know, I mean, some people have fun, like, you know, watching like sports or something like that. It doesn't matter who threw the ball the best, really, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who wins the console war. Even the Sega Saturn sold like 10 million copies, right? Like, people are going to buy it regardless. Yeah. Microsoft, you know, like, they could poop in the box and someone would still buy it, right?
Oh, of course.
So, but at the end of the day, as someone who like reviews stuff and who's like really into this stuff, I do like make recommendations to people.
Yeah.
On everything I see, as someone who has to like make the call of like, what is the console that you should buy at this point? It's leaning very heavily towards PS5. Granted, that can change because we still don't know a whole lot about these systems, which is very interesting too, by the way.
Like, even still, I want to play a Spider-Man, yo. I'm sucked in.
On it. I'm with you, man. I'm right there with you. Day one.
Listen, they've got me emotionally engrossed. I want to play as Miles. Miles is getting a shine.
One.
It's like a Sony are doing Miles right.
Day one, Ben. Day one.
Into the Spider-Verse was done right. Then I'm gonna get this. Then 2022, I'm gonna get the follow-up. Like, yo, they've got me sucked in emotionally.
He in there, man.
So like that alone, as a gamer that likes these type of games, I'm still prying for them to remake Jack 1, Jack 2, and Jack 3 for the next gen consoles.
I mean, you might, man. You might. I'm gonna give everybody watching this live stream a pro tip. If you are interested in buying any of these consoles day one, the pre-orders will sell out in minutes. Okay. So if you really want one of these consoles, you better be ready to pre-order when pre-orders go live, because they're not going to last long. I give it 10 minutes top and they're going to be sold out.
Yep.
It's going to be so rough this year. It's always rough when the new consoles come out.
Like y'all think about some of y'all think that because COVID and the pandemic is happening that people ain't going to buy these consoles. You got another thing coming, man.
Dude.
Look, try to go find a Nintendo Switch right now. Try to find any game system right now. You can't. They're all sold out. So
the same thing is going to happen like it happened before. People are going to buy up the pre-orders in order to try and resell them to other people.
I mean, but besides that, they're going to be sold out anyway, Trent. It's over with.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be sold out for both of them too. Probably.
Both of them, exactly.
It's going to be rough because people want, like, the reasons why, like, you can't, like, it's hard to find like PS4, Xbox, any of the current consoles, everything, because people are home and they're like, I got to do something. I need a gaming system. I'm going insane here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when these things launch, if things aren't better, which by the way, in the US, it looks like it's not going to be better.
No, not at all.
People will justify anything, even if it is like a, you know, the economy's in the tanker. People will justify the worst things for themselves. You know, talking from experience.
I think in the US we're expecting a second stimulus check possibly. So if that happens,
when that second stimulus comes, people will be like, "Let me put 500 away for that Xbox."
Yes. So even just to add to that, where it's going to be rough is you have to realize that there's more people at home that have time to hit that refresh button. Just that alone, the percentage of people that are more home, that maybe when the pre-orders went live, they were doing work in a place where they couldn't even get access to their phones, let alone a computer. You know, there's more people at home this time that are going to be able to hit that refresh button, ready to just fire away. That alone is going to be rough.
Yes, sir, but they ain't Viper, and I'm ready, baby. Your boy Viper's ready. When he PS5 pre-order go live, I will be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, y'all have fun with that.
Trending with the corona. Oh man,
man, this has been a fun conversation, man. I appreciate you joining me.
It's been good. It's been almost 2 hours. Like, jeez.
Yeah, I'm about to go enjoy movie night. So, now that we've all kind of settled down and realized that Microsoft is still the best, I'm gonna go ahead and go.
I knew you were gonna do that. You ain't slick.
Him and Trent always got to leave it on some.
Oh, but on a side note, it's actually funny that we're having this conversation tonight because the theme of tomorrow night's battle royale is versus, and this is one of the questions.
I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's now, tomorrow, you know this, bro. We're always ready for the battle. We'll be good. We'll be there. We'll be there.
Oh, it's on, baby. I'm gonna be watching that. He just dipped out.
Bye, Mike. It was nice talking to you.
Listen, man. I'm going back to my original argument, man. After that game showcase yesterday, Microsoft didn't show me nothing. They ain't show me nothing.
They like what Greg said, second mover's advantage, they flopped. Wow. They flopped when they had the first one. They had to openly apologize for how poor and misleading it was from when they said it was a game reveal. Sony do their thing, had time to regroup, and they still flopped. So, like, whether you're an Xbox fan or not, they dropped the ball.
Literally. I realize that it's only July, and there will be more game reveal before these things are launched in the fall or whatever. But I mean, this is prime time right now. This is the time where people are going to start saving their money for these pre-orders and things. You got to get this right. You can't be dropping the ball.
Yeah, I'm getting a PS5, bro. My money's set for the PS5. Is getting
you can listen. You can talk smack on Android or iOS, iPhone, Samsung, whatever. I never care. But when it's console war time, it does feel a little bit more personal for some reason. I don't know why. I get into it.
You know why, Greg? Because we've been doing this a hell of a lot longer than we've been battling over phones, baby. This is big.
The console war goes back to when I was like growing up. So every generation, as old as I get, it's right. A little personal.
This will never end. D4 will never end.
Yo, console wars start in the crib. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
Literally.
And the thing is, do you know what's even cemented it for me? When I did my Xbox versus PS5 video, there was a person that commented. I'm gonna go back to that comment and find it. And I said that, what's the point in getting PS to play Miles Morales in 30 frames a second and not having other options? And then Insomniac just dropped the bombshell. There will be a 4K 60 frames a second option. I'm like, your comment has aged so well. So just that option alone, where I'm thinking the fact that they've already set in my mind that there's gonna be options for me to pick how I want to play my game. I am so buying a PS5.
Also, and I that's fine. Hopefully it's like that. But I'm going to tell you, I've lived through a few of these generations, and they were promising 1080p gaming, 30 frames at least on PS3 and 360, and those things were like subs 720p, like half the games. Like it was like 628p. They weren't powerful enough, so they're making a lot of claims like 4K 120. I'm curious to see how many games are actually going to be 4K and 120 frames per second, even on a really high-end gaming PC. That is very, very difficult to achieve. So
I think raw pixel for pixel. Yeah, I think they will be using probably like a second generation 2 checkerboard rendering system.
Yeah,
potentially. I think it has to be, but even I think obviously if these consoles do have the HDMI 2.1 spec, then I see it being a possibility if they use a newer, more refined. And I mean, Microsoft have announced it with VRS, variable rate shading. That's what they call it. So just the efficiency of how pixels are being displayed on the screen and not using unnecessary resources for you to see what you're seeing. I think they're going to be able to pull it off enough where again, console optimization that trumps what you don't get on PCs. You see, so I think potentially it's there, but I just like the fact that out of the gate, they're able to announce that there will be a 4K 60 frames a second option for the PS5 for Miles Morales. Me and Miles are going to be swinging through New York, electrifying people as well. Come on now.
Listen, man. I know some of you PC Master Race folks out there in the chat. Nobody cares about gaming on PC. I'm sorry. Y'all just need to calm down.
I do. Calm down.
You need to calm down.
I'm so PC Master Race.
I like
Ain't nobody worried about PC. We're about console, baby. This is console time.
Chill. Like, we still care about PC gaming, bro. Like,
PC gamers, calm down. This is console time. Ain't nobody thinking about on PC right now.
I'm really curious to see what the PS5 VR headset's going to be like too, because they said they're going to do VR again. They have not shown that at all. And PS4 VR, it wasn't perfect, honestly, but for like a first attempt, and considering how underpowered the PS4 was for VR, it was actually great. There were some games. It depends on the game. Some games did it better than others. There were some really compelling VR games, and Resident Evil 7 in VR, man, what a trip! That was fun.
True.
I'm excited. Ooh, Resident Evil 8. Can't wait.
Man,
I'm just excited for God of War nearing. I reckon God of War will come out 2024, 2025, because it looks like how Sony Santa Monica does their cycles. They pretty much do it maybe a year or two before the console cycle finishes, and that's the game where on the long haul I'm so eager to touch that sequel to Kratos and Atreus. Man, I just think about that game far ahead, and I'm like, yo, let's go.
See, that's the cool thing about Sony. You know, you got games coming like God of War, Spider-Man, things like that. But Sony is also good for like
very
IPs.
Yeah,
like Last of Us. Nobody saw Last of Us when the PS3 was out. Nobody saw that coming, but you got Last of Us out there.
You got a Ghost of Tsushima like this generation
right
out of nowhere, and it's
Out of nowhere.
such a great game.
I'm picking that up day one when I get the PS5. I got to have that, definitely.
Yeah, and this is I think from my personal perspective as a core gamer that isn't really caring about what other things the system can do. Obviously, there should be smart features like, you know, Netflix, Hulu, and all that stuff. That's fine. But I'm saying, as a core gamer, I know what excites me as a gamer when OEMs and developers just pull games out of nowhere that you don't expect. That feeling is so invigorating as a gamer. And Sony are the ones that have just been hitting the nail on that time and time. Like, it's not even like one or few times where you're like, it's a fluke. No, it's so consistent that you just think, damn, how are they doing it? You know, and that in itself, and then when you play it and you're like, yo, this game hits, you know, and that what I appreciate that I've just not gotten from Microsoft, regardless of how technically brilliant, acoustically, thermally, power-wise, and system integration is, even down to like the subscription service of Game Pass, that I've not had a reason to be sucked in with Microsoft.
Yeah. There's always like the games that are established that you do want to play, right? There's always those like core games that you do want to play every year, but it's like those new games that try something new. It's like, it makes you feel like a kid again. It's like, oh, this is so cool. I've never thought this would happen this way. I need like a good mixture of both. And I always get that from PlayStation.
Always.
I get that from Nintendo. Their first party stuff is always trying new, like Breath of the Wild. It's really good. So I want to see that more from Microsoft. And they like promise it every year. They promise it. And I was going into that showcase, like expecting to see some like cool stuff. And like all the new IPs they showed off, they really just didn't look that interesting to me.
Now, I will give, as much as I've been ragging on Xbox tonight, I will give them one thing. The Xbox Series X will play all the multiplayer better than PS5. We all know that.
That's a fact. You can't even argue that.
If you're trying to sell me a console, you're not selling me a console on you doing better in the multiplayer. I need the game that make me want to buy the console.
No, that's true. Technically, it was proven with the Xbox One X it is going to be proven with the Series X. The Series X on cross-platform games will play better. It just will. Even if it's a smidget, because obviously developers are going to try and bring parity.
Mm-hmm.
The Series X is going to play it better. It's the more technically powerful console. Acoustically, it's probably going to be more quiet because Sony really don't know how to sort out acoustics. Heat management is something that they really they've put their best foot forward, and you know that they're flexing that they've spent R&D to make sure acoustically, firmly, power-wise, this is the best console you're going to get. Fact. And I respect that balls. You see. So that one is a fact, whether it's Madden, FIFA, NBA, name it. If you care about those games, boy, I guess out and outright just get an Xbox, I guess.
I mean, but even though they're going to play better on Xbox, that does not mean by any means they're going to be trash on PS5, because they're not going to be damn good on PS5 too.
True. I think secretly the PS5 probably might have better load times as well.
Here you go. That hard, that SSD. Woo!
Oh, I'm excited to see that. I'm actually, it's weird, the little things. I'm genuinely excited to see how they're gonna pull that off. So
and that's another thing that they really have to prove, because I like the same thing. You look at the Series X, you're like, that's the more powerful system. But I've seen like a lot of developers on Twitter going, don't underestimate the PS5, especially with that new SSD. That stuff's game changing. Now, again, people say a lot of stuff before the thing launches. By the time it comes out, you're like, what were they talking about? If they're right that it's like a game changing thing, like they're saying like, it's going to be like load times of like a quarter of a second always. And it's like, wait, what? A quarter of a second just instantly load in? That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Especially this generation had some pretty long load times.
Oh god,
pretty man. Have you well, The Witcher 3 gives me bad memories of load time.
You're gonna make a sandwich, man. You're gonna make a sandwich during some of these load screens this year. My God.
Long load times.
The Witcher 3 made me cry of load times.
It's okay. Nothing will top playing Skyrim on PS3 load times. That was a bad time. That was a really, really bad time.
Fam.
So Trent, you've been sitting here quiet for the last like half an hour or something. I'm curious. I know you say you're not getting one of these immediately, but do you plan on getting an Xbox Series X later down the line?
Yeah, it would be later on. To be honest, I could probably wait until the end of next year.
Yeah, you could.
Because as between YouTube and family and other stuff in life, honestly, because I used to be on games like you wouldn't believe. Like I was on games more than anything else, but it's just getting to the point to where like, you know, I just play games every once in a while just to have some fun, just to, you know, get away from, you know, doing some other stuff. But it's not to the point anymore where I'm playing 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. If I might play a game, maybe 2 hours a week.
No, which is relatable to real life. Yes. And this goes back to PC, because I know there were some PC people in the chat, and I remember having a discussion with my mom, and my mom's really good with money. I was terrible with money for the longest time, and she was like, you know, we were talking about how much money I was spending on gaming and PCs and stuff like that, and she was like, okay, if you want to play games, that's cool. I'm not going to say anything bad about it or whatever, but do you really need to spend $2,000 so you can play this game at 4K 60 across 2 monitors? And at the time, my answer was yes. Like, I'm looking at you guys dead in the camera. Like I was looking at her like, yes, I have to have the GTX 990. I have to have the Intel i7. I need to have 32 gigs of RAM, all of that. Whereas now, and I'm at a different point in my life, I'm looking at myself crazy if I spend $500 on a console, and I'm like, I'm only going to be playing this a couple hours a week. You know, there's other things I'd rather, you know, spend my money on.
Yeah, you're right. I cannot wait till you put that to you. My God. Woo. My man got a G Master. Wow.
So, yeah, it's just, For me, like I said, I'm at that different point in my life where my finances, what I want to pour my time into, I'm pouring time into stuff that's going to net me a return. The only return
I'm with
that gaming does for me is a distraction, but it actually can become a negative distraction because I'll end up not doing something else.
The balance. It's a balance.
Yeah, no doubt. Yo, Zach, thank you for the super chat. Zach coming in here dropping shots. He hadn't been here. PS5 rules, that Fox truth. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, we basically this entire time that we've been discussing PS5 versus that Xbox Series X, pretty much. Although I'm going to detour for a minute because I'm a little mad at Apple because I was up last night. I don't know if Ben might know where I'm going, but I was up last night. I was waiting for Taylor Swift album to drop on Apple Music, and I had to wait longer than I wanted to. I can't believe this stuff, man. Listen, Taylor Swift put out the tweet earlier that the album was dropping at midnight Eastern time, which is 11 o'clock my time. So I got the iPhone in hand, y'all. I'm like, damn it, where's that? I'm looking on Apple Music at 11 o'clock my time. I'm like, where the hell's the album? Everybody like, oh, it's on Google, it's on YouTube Music, it's on Spotify. I'm like, it ain't on Apple Music. What the hell is that? So I'm waiting. And finally, at 11:20, the album started dropping. It was dropping in like parts. It was like download from the servers or whatever. So listen to Apple. I pay monthly for Apple Music. I don't this is the late thank you, man. When that girl says the album's gonna drop at midnight, I expect that dumb bitch at midnight. Not 11:20, not 11:25, not 11:05, 11 o'clock. Apple Music, you need to get better, baby. I've heard this. This has been a pattern behavior for Apple Music. I don't appreciate this. I don't like waiting on my Taylor Swift. I want my Taylor Swift now.
Bro.
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Man, this ain't the
I have no words right now. I'm speechless.
I don't care. This is not the first time I've had issue with Apple Music, man.
I can't even back. I use Spotify, so I can't even back. I'm just the streak you went on, yeah. It just took me out, bro.
Listen, man. I was mad. I was waiting, and I had to wait longer than I wanted to wait. I'm ready to go. I was looking forward to that all day, and then it gets to the point where it's time to go, and there's nothing. I'm like, I'm refreshing. I restarted my phone like 3 times, waiting for it to come on Apple Music, and I got nothing. I'm like, what are you doing here?
All right, so let's try and make a conversation out of it. Then why that delay? What would be the reason for that delay? Because I actually don't know.
I don't know.
I might learn something inadvertently.
Apparently, this is an issue with Apple Music. They're always like late with new albums and tracks for whatever reason. I don't know, but apparently it's a pattern of behavior with Apple Music.
Oh, if it's a pattern, then is it a legal deal that's causing that? Just by maybe that 30 minutes or an hour that gives the other platform a psychological advantage of they're always more reliable. So I would rather go there when new stuff comes. Do you think it could be? If it's a pattern and it's not a one-off, I'm just trying to dissect this here. What do you think?
I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like, it was like she said that it was supposed to drop at midnight Eastern. So it literally dropped on all the platforms at midnight Eastern except for Apple Music. It was like a little 20-minute delay, literally a 20-minute delay from the time that it was supposed to drop until the time it actually showed up in my Apple Music playlist. I'm like, dude, let's go. What are we doing here?
So based on that, what has been the previous times this has happened? That's why I'm just trying to if there's a pattern, then it can't be a coincidence. If there's been a consistent pattern from previous artists or A-list artists that have dropped albums, and for whatever reason on Apple Music is maybe taking 20 minutes, 30 minutes or an hour before it shows up, don't you think that there might be some legal shenanigans in the background that's just given agreements? You see?
Yeah, that's
what Zach just said. Delay is because of agreements with different streaming services. See? It must be because of that.
That's lame. That's terrible. Why? What? Apple Music is one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world. I don't give the monkey nipple about Spotify. I don't care about Spotify.
Yeah, but Spotify's been there for a bit though, bro. You have to think about that. They've been there.
Spotify can lick a monkey nipple for all I care. I mean, man, listen, man, I want my thing. So I like Apple Music. I want my stuff on Apple Music when I want it. I don't want to have to wait. I need to talk to Tim Cook about this. We need to figure it out. Apple got more money than the whole entire world, and we can't get exclusives on music drops. Come on, man. Come on.
No, but do you know what it is? Do you know where I'm seeing what Zach's statement is saying? For music streaming, as big as Apple are, Spotify still has the brand clout for it.
You know what? Then Apple needs to buy Spotify and just end it. Buy Spotify and end it. If I gotta wait 20 minutes for my Taylor Swift to drop, Apple needs to just absorb Spotify. Just buy them. Greg,
you're wild. You're actually wild, bro. Greg, I've never seen Greg this speechless for this long. He's just like, I don't even know what.
I have nothing to value to add to this conversation.
Nah, Greg, I've never seen Greg this silent for this long.
Wow. I got great features. I love it, man.
Taylor Swift, Apple Music, it's all.
Greg's like, that's not my vote.
I think it's a legal agreement. The minute you said it, when you were tweeting it, I'm thinking, this is just maybe. But when you said pattern, I'm like, once it's a pattern, there's something behind closed doors that's been agreed that's making it like that.
Now, me personally, this is the first time I've ever waited for an album to drop, because usually we don't know when they're gonna drop; they just drop. But she tweeted it earlier in the day, so we knew when it was gonna drop. So I was just waiting. But when I was complaining about it on Twitter, somebody else had said that this is the thing with Apple Music; they're always late with new songs and albums. And I'm just like, what is this? But yeah,
this might be a good video. This might be a good video to kind of churn out.
Maybe Apple should just buy Taylor Swift.
I'm okay with this. No, the other issue I have with Apple Music is that one time there was an Apple Music outage and I couldn't play any of my music, even though I had it downloaded on my iPhone. I still couldn't play any of the music while Apple Music was out.
I remember that. I was
mad. I made a dedicated video about that because I was kind of upset about that. I'm like, listen, if I download the music, I should be able to listen to it even if the service is running or not. What is up with that? So I was not happy. So whatever.
It's probably because it does a little check to see if you're still paying subscriber.
I guess
for that outage, I would think
that's annoying.
Yeah, it was a bug too. It was really weird. I remember when that happened. That was really, really annoying.
Yeah, it's very annoying. But you know what? I appreciate my man Ben. I know it's 2 a.m. over there in the UK or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. I was literally just editing and uploading, so just bust a quick shower and just I still got energy, man. Let's talk prelude before the stream on Sunday, I guess.
What's up, Greg?
Let's get to the interesting topic of the night. We're talking about these console wars, Taylor Swift. Let's talk about the real topic.
What's that?
Aliens. What? Aliens.
Huh?
Aliens. You didn't see this?
No. What are you talking about? What aliens?
What aliens? You've not been on Twitter seeing the trending of aliens?
No.
What?
There was an article in the New York Times about this UFO program in the United States, and that they're trying to declassify a lot of the stuff and be more transparent with us. And according to someone who used to work on this program, the United States has already recovered materials from crashed alien ships. Not on Earth.
As your boy Willie do would say, what?
What?
I could do that. Willie do. What do you think of these aliens?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Willie do you believe in aliens?
Yeah.
Willie do you think that the aliens are friendly?
I see why MCP always wants to cancel Greg now. I get it. I really do get it.
So Willie do, what's your favorite kind of stories to talk on Vyp Live?
Usually the most interesting is science.
Oh my days.
What's your favorite science story?
Robofish powered by battery blood.
Wow. Where do you like to watch those science stories?
Well, watch it in the shower.
Yeah. It talks a lot about PS5 versus Xbox Series X. What did you think about our conversation? What did you think about our console war conversation?
Yeah. A lot of assumptions there.
There were a lot of assumptions there, Willie. There were a lot of assumptions. All right, I'm gonna let you get going. You take care, okay?
Oh yeah.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Uh.
All right. Have a good one.
I did not understand, but now I get the whole cancel Greg. I really do get it now.
Wait, Willie Do, what's your favorite game?
The game, red, blue. Cool.
How? Okay, I'm even scared to ask how you've accurately recorded so many different voices of Willie Do.
Yeah. No.
Well, let's just say, my podcast, I do, we have fun over there, and we had Willie Do on the show, and we thought, it was fun. Getting, if you know who Willie Do is, getting sound clips of him, actually very hard. A little while to get as many sound clips as I did, so it was very dedicated.
Dude.
Hey, someone said Garg sucks, and that's the same person who told me Qualcomm was faster than the A13. So maybe you suck. I don't know.
Lord.
Just throwing that out there.
Oh, Lord.
Apple will be the first to have 5 nanometers in a system on a chip this year for sure. Just like they were the first to have 7 nanometers and 10 nanometers in a system on a chip. So their chip design team are
now coming into Macs. Oh, what a time to be alive. So exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2020, it's pretty bad, but some exciting parts of technology.
I saw a headline earlier today that Intel is still choking on their 7 nanometer chips or something like that.
Dude,
Intel are just now, they're screwed. They're really screwed. Sorry to say, they're screwed.
Literally.
AMD is eating their lunch. Like, they said, it was going to be like till 2022 now, and then it's just like, this is why Apple said, we're done.
Oh, forget it. We're done. We're done
And
having
now,
to deal
AMD
with,
used to be like a joke. Like AMD 6 years ago, you see all these videos by Linus and Jay's 2 cents and be like, look how hot AMD chips were on. Why would you ever put these in your system? And now AMD has more cores, more power, and they're cheaper than Intel. And the AMD stock went up like 20 percentage points, and Intel dropped 20 percentage points. It is a really, really bad year for Intel. Really bad.
Intel are screwed. I'm sorry to say, Intel are they've only justified Apple's
Literally.
leading them. Yeah.
Literally. Definitely. But I am so sorry, you all. I forgot to ask you guys an opinion on this whole PS5 versus Xbox Series X debate. So you know what? The Vyp line is open, baby. And so if y'all got issue or opinions about what was discussed tonight, or this whole Apple versus Intel thing, or anything like that, the Vyp line is now open for business, baby. 219-440-1003. That is 219-440-1003. That will get you
Vyp line.
That will get you.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Prosser, if you're watching, I would like a call.
But if you want to call us from
aliens,
Wi-Fi,
let's talk about the aliens. Come on, this is serious stuff. Do you believe in this? This is a New York Times story. Usually an alien story, it's fake.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Man, I don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Really scared. I was like, what if there is aliens? That'll ruin everything.
Oh god!
If there's aliens, it'll ruin everything.
Uh-oh.
Because
Here we go.
all right, that's gonna make a really good point.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
All right, I did not get who was calling. So who are we speaking with? You're on the Vyp line.
Yeah, for Johnny Alex Jackson.
Oh, what's up, Alex? How you doing, man?
Good.
Well, what can we do for you tonight? What can we do for you?
Xbox and PlayStation. I think the PS5, just the amount of games they have are pretty tapped. I was watching a little bit of the Xbox game thing, and then I didn't really see much stuff that would draw most people to buy it as a new console.
No, I think we made that pretty clear tonight. There wasn't much there yesterday that makes you want to get an Xbox Series X at all.
And most of the games they showed off were just independent games that were just story based, and they weren't really that hyped. Even their main game, Halo, didn't really seem new at all.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of thought that Halo Infinite wasn't even actually running on the Xbox Series X yesterday. A lot of people think it was running off an Xbox One. So, I don't know what's up with that.
I can believe.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely not much yesterday that made me want to rush out and get an Xbox Series X at all. You got anything else for us?
I think Microsoft is focusing on the wrong thing. They're trying to make it compatible for PC and Xbox, so they're trying to like make it all one thing. They're trying to do too much.
I think Microsoft is practically conceding the hardware race, but they're trying to make it up in the making the platform more viable, like games as a service and things like that, and Xbox Game Pass, because they're going to end up making a ton of money off of Xbox Game Pass and games as a service and all that good stuff. So overall, over the long run, that's going to.
I would rather buy a game and then just play it instead of having to pay monthly for a game.
I would too, but I think I think Game Pass currently has over like 10 million subscribers right now. So there's a lot of people that are invested in Game Pass. So it's not without
I understand for like mobile games like Apple Arcade, but console games, I guess that some people like it though. You have to be an avid gamer to do it though.
I mean, you probably not buying a console system unless you're almost an avid or a beginner gamer or a kind of an avid gamer. So yeah, like I said, there's 10 million people on Game Pass right now, so they're making money over there, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, man. Thanks for the call, Alex. Appreciate you.
Okay.
So Alien. Eric W. Davis. Wait, what we got?
He had to refuel. He got some food now.
Oh, nice. Eric W. Davis, an astrophysicist who worked as a subcontractor and then a consultant for the Pentagon UFO program since 2007, said that in some cases, examination of materials had so far failed to determine their source and led them to conclude we couldn't make it ourselves. Mr. Davis, who now works as for an aerospace corporation, a defense contractor, said he gave a classified briefing to a Defense Department agency as recently as March about retrievals from off-world vehicles not made of this Earth.
I mean, what, has he been to Mars or something? What are we talking about here?
He's saying like they recovered like crashed alien ships and like took all the materials.
I see you, man. I see I won't spit out your food over there.
You guys are laughing, and
you got to be careful around me, man.
When the aliens come, I don't know, guys. I think we're out of a job. Their technology's better than ours. I'm not going to know how to review it. It's going to be like iOS versus Android, and they'll be like, we got the Glarg phone.
I mean, if you listen to Roberto Blake, a lot of humans are going to be out of a job pretty soon anyway with automation coming in.
Not me. You can't automate me. Too unpredictable. You can automate Willie Do though.
Do you know what I'm more upset about?
What is that?
I'm a person that loves watching movies, especially specific movies on a big screen. And Tenet being delayed, I do not want to watch it online. I need to experience that on the big screen.
Listen, man, you talk about Tenet. I'm talking about James Bond, No Time to Die. I was ready to go.
As well.
I was
Black Widow as well.
Oh, we got a call.
7037. Call from. To accept, press 1. To send
Oh my God.
All right, who are we speaking with?
Alan, the aliens are here.
Oh Lord, we got an alien in.
You speak a little bit louder. I can't hear about these aliens, and I need to hear about them. You need to raise your voice a little bit. So tell me about these aliens.
The aliens, they're here.
They're here, huh?
They're going to invade in 2020.
I believe it.
They're going to invade in 2020.
Do you have any evidence to back up this alien claim? We have an article in the New York Times about them. Do you work for the New York Times?
He's gone. I think we're messing with us.
Greg.
Well, if you can get back to us, Alan from the New York Times, we'd appreciate that. We really need to know that story.
Oh,
and I feel like you're a very level-headed person. What do you think? And a little bit of military experience. Maybe he does know about the aliens and he can't say anything. So maybe I shouldn't ask him. Confirm or deny. Oh,
G14 classified, man.
Oh no.
No, I seriously get the whole cancel Greg culture. I didn't get it before. I really didn't until now. I get it.
Cancel Greg.
I deal with this on a daily basis, right? Well, it's like somehow Greg manages to make you want to cancel him. Then he will do something that like redeems himself, and you're just like, nah, we can't cancel Greg. And then he turns right back around and then does something else. You're just like, what do I do?
Like I said, I'm unpredictable. So,
like when I saw Greg's face on that damn train, I was just like,
honestly, the best one was before the battle royale with the Mortal Kombat animation. I was like, that was dope because that's still my favorite fighting game growing up. Like,
absolutely.
But it's like the whole thing. I just get it. I thought, from outside, I'm thinking the way they keep canceling Greg, this is a bit. It might be a bit much, but I don't know. But now it's like, well, I get it.
I mean, they try to cancel, but they're not doing a very good job. It's bigger than ever. So keep it coming. Keep it coming.
All right, people, the Vyp line is still open. Now you got me, Ben, Trent, and Greg to talk to. We're at 219-440-1003.
I know you're watching, Travis, so call in to the Vyp line. You might have some info on those aliens. I don't know.
If you want to talk to us directly, the line is open to talk to us directly.
I feel like Trent knows something. He can't say.
Trent knows something, man.
He knows. Look at that. Look at him.
I don't even know anymore. Like, sometimes when I go outside, I'd be wondering what planet these people are from.
Call from.
This is George Bush.
To accept, press 1.
Yes.
And the voice.
Hello, George Bush. How can we help you?
Not George Bush, it's Judge Bush.
Judge Bush. Okay, Judge.
Is this here where we talk about the aliens?
Isn't this where we talk about the aliens? Sure.
Yeah.
I got aliens.
What?
Man, Vyp line is different.
Why does this sound like a drunk version of LB?
Can you talk about the aliens a little bit more and a little bit clearer?
The drunk version of LB.
Got one that just went across my backyard.
Well,
okay, I'm sorry. This doesn't sound like LB. This sounds like Bill Cosby calling from jail.
Bill, you're not supposed to be doing that.
Are you trying to be demonetized? What are you doing out here, Trent?
Keep forgetting.
Oh, we can't. No.
What's up, LB? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm all good. I'm just looking up for the day.
LB, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If aliens do visit Earth, will you give them some of your delicious popcorn so they don't kill us all? Like peace offering, like here's some popcorn. You can't get rid of me. I make good popcorn.
You already know how I think, Greg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tap into my inner petty.
A couple of special flavors just for them.
Yeah, some alien flavors.
My inner petty dreams of the day that I can experience these popcorns. Every time I see any of you enjoying, I feel like just unfollowing all of you.
You hear that, LB? He mad you can't give him a popcorn, man.
I get the logistics, but I'm still jealous either way.
LB said you got some popcorn coming. Okay.
So Ben, number one, you got popcorn coming. Number two, I've negotiated with 3 people that want a partner in the UK.
My man.
Whatever deal turns out to be the best deal, popcorn may be shipping out to the UK on a regular basis within the next 7 to 8 months.
That's the stuff I'm going to be sneaking into the cinemas when it opens. The cinema popcorn.
Yeah, I can't wait to start using language like that. I negotiated with someone.
That's a good look, man.
I mean, that's what it is about now. The negotiations with whoever turns out the best deal.
Mm-hmm. Make it happen, bro. UK needs something like that, man. We need it. We need it.
I've noticed. I didn't know it was such an interest until like the last month. I've actually literally had about 50 people call me.
I've been secretly doing promos for you without realizing. Like I've been telling people, like showing them. They're like, damn, really? Yeah, trust. Make it happen, please.
Ben, is there Ben, is there any UK specific food that could be a popcorn flavor?
Fish and chips, definitely, 100%. If you can land fish and chips in there, 100% will be. You want that. It's going to be. I don't know how hard your process is, but like if you can get that fish and chips kind of flavor, that sour vinegar flavor, yeah, that would be a very weird, unique one.
Did you say salt and see? I've never had fish and chips, so I would have to sit down and have a official fish and chip meal to capture that. You know,
you need to fly over into, and there'll be chocolates like Cadbury milk, so more of the British chocolates like Cadbury, for sure. You would want to be getting into that. I'm just thinking. I'll think of head like a British.
Americans into the UK right now.
Pardon?
I doubt it. You've never had fish and chips, man. We need to get you to 71st Street. How have you never had fish and chips? Wow.
No, Viper.
Yo, fish and chips, man.
The way LB broke down, like no, Viper.
It's not true, Viper. It's not. You got to have like English fish and chips. It's different.
Yeah, you gotta come get the fat chips, the Savoy, the fish and chips, the vinegar
on your fries. Get it done.
Yeah, you got to get it done properly here.
Okay.
We have a Scottish place.
McDonald's isn't even McDonald's over there.
What is it then? If it's not McDonald's?
Hey, my little brother played in Germany for a couple of years, and he's like, "Look, their McDonald's is like a gourmet restaurant compared to McDonald's."
And it's so funny. My sister, obviously, I told you that my sister now lives in Indiana, but she grew up pretty much in California. That's the first thing she said. Like, yo, you guys' McDonald's is like, it feels like a restaurant. I'm like, really? It's like, yeah, it's like restaurant. I'm like, okay,
interesting,
different.
Yo, LB, do you have any thoughts on these next gen console wars?
Only thought I got is I'm gonna have to pay for one. I have
LB's on the end spectrum. He's past Trent inside. It's just, I know I have to pay for one, and that's
that's the real side though.
I already know what December is going to be.
Wait. You said you got 5 teenagers. You only got to pay for one. You said, oh, good luck with that, baby.
Oh no. See, I'm a miser. One is all you get.
Nah, yeah. LB has just finished the whole spectrum. He's on like the far end where which one is the money gonna come out of? That's it. Anything else? Don't ask me.
Man, you said one.
That's all you get. Look, this thing is probably going to do what? Every bit of $400, $500.
Oh yeah, if we're lucky, yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm dedicating $100 per child.
Yo, LB's one. That's it,
bro. Hey, there's gonna be a war in that household.
LB's one. LB has shut it down. End of. That's it. Done.
Viper, I'm telling you right now, man. Once you get other humans in your life that you're responsible for, that becomes real.
Oh, I'm sure. I can barely take care of myself. I don't have time for other humans, so I'm on me right now. I'll let y'all deal with that.
Yeah. Viper and I are not making that mistake. So.
Wow.
Nah, cancel Greg officially.
Wow.
Officially.
All right. Sorry.
Damn, Greg.
Viper and I were just two young men. Can't hold us back.
Oh Lord.
Greg, what are you, like 28?
I don't know. What am I? Who knows?
No, you know what he is? He's an alien, really.
Yeah, like like those Men in Black alien characters. His head would just open and it's a small guy just running.
Look at this young.
Oh, here he goes.
Hey,
look at that.
I'll tell you guys how it happens. Look, this is how it happens. At some point, you're gonna be like, man, I gotta leave something behind. I gotta leave a legacy.
Bro.
And that's when it all begins.
I mean, I've thought about that, but hell, I'm leaving my legacy behind right now with this YouTube and stuff. Man, that's what my legacy is. Anything else, it'll be
That's
extra.
not leaving a legacy, Viper.
Boy, this stuff is gonna be last long by the time I'm gone. This stuff will still be here when I'm gone. What I don't know, man. It'll be all right.
I'll just leave my legacy to your kids, LB.
Nah, cancel Greg. I'm backing. I'm backing the cancel Greg campaign officially as of today. I get it. I fully get it.
You don't want to build all this up, and then when you go in the grave, it all goes with you. Oh, it was
nice. Oh man.
I mean, I gotta have something to carry on the Burton name.
Well,
but bro, you're doing bits, man. I love what you're doing. You've reinvented the wheel. Like I said, all my life, I only knew popcorn to be 2 flavors, salt and sweet. That's it.
I 200, man. That's what didn't do.
Listen, I didn't even know you could do what been done. So I'm ready. My body's
wondering, are you a real life alien? What you done with popcorn? He wants to know, are you a real life alien?
It's like now it's gone from are you cake to are you an alien? It's like you're gonna be walking up with people with a knife just to make sure are they cake or are they alien? Just to
literally.
That's the trend right now. At least it's not cake.
Hey, there's some people who are really aliens. I mean, I firmly believe like Bob Barker has to be an alien.
Bob Barker, really? Okay.
I believe that
he has to be. Come on, these talk show hosts look like they never age. I've been saying them ever since I was a kid. Someone explain to me how they continue to look the same. That guy from Jeopardy, alien. Watch and see.
Alex
Trebek, alien.
Oh man, isn't too much.
Mark Zuckerberg is the true alien.
Oh man,
I feel like he's synthetic. He's like an android,
especially when he uses too much sunscreen.
Synthetic.
Yeah, does that guy sunscreen? Does that guy ever tan?
Probably not.
I mean,
no, that was not suntan. That was mime makeup. Okay.
What? Yeah. Mime makeup.
He was hoping no one would recognize him on his paddle surfboard.
Oh man. So LB, are you judging or fighting tomorrow night?
I think they have a standby judge for me. Things are so crazy for me. Like I hadn't been to bed for 2 days until like 4 o'clock this evening.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I've been like burning a candle on both ends and in the middle. So I just got to see. I'm still, as of right now, I'm still 700 packages in the hole.
No, nice. It's a good problem to have, but man, just well done for holding it down for real.
Man, everybody keeps saying it's a good problem to have, but it's like, you got customers. I got people getting free popcorn, wondering like when I'm going to get my popcorn.
Hey man,
I'm not wondering about that. Whenever I get it, I get it.
You got to enter the pan customer first, baby.
Yeah,
nah, dude, that's why we're cheering. That's why we're cheering you on, as in the sense that for us, it's that positive karma of like all the time that you've invested, it's now paying off just based on natural karma, if you believe in that, right? And it's coming in its like motherload, And for us, we're not tripping. We're not really thinking about, oh, we want ours, but we're more like, yo, it's about time you're getting yours, Right. That's more the energy that we're coming from.
And the thing that I like about it is this: you're transparent. Like I can't tell how many companies I have dealt with that were going to give me something for free, and you're sitting there like, okay, is it coming? Is it not coming? Do you know anything? And then you get to the point to where you forget about it, to where you finally get it, and you're just like, I don't care anymore because you didn't even keep in contact with me, but you've kept that same that same transparency.
For that translation, Trendon saying that thank you for not being Samsung. That's what Trendon just said.
I mean, I gotta thank Samsung because that turned into something I probably wouldn't have right now, but still.
Yeah, that's one of the key things I try to do is be transparent, almost to a flaw, because I did the greatest, dumbest thing that I ever done, and you send out the MailChimp, so I did that whole email directly from the CEO. That was fun.
Oh,
I sent a mass email out, and now you already know what I have to do in my email box. I sent out 1,500 emails to the 1,500 people that ordered popcorn since last Monday, and 700 of them decided, hey, we're going to either thank you or give you a complaint. And I'll get people to make this complaint. On the front of my site, it clearly states free shipping over $50. So if I'm giving free shipping over $50, I realized that the shipping was too high. So why do you email me and complain and go, hey, where's my popcorn? I spent $20 on shipping. $20. It cost me $55. Think about it.
LB,
You bought $35 worth of popcorn and got charged $20 worth of shipping when you could have just bought $50 worth of product and stayed out of my email box.
It's 2020. People don't read.
They really don't.
People will not read something and then sue you because they didn't read it.
Yep. Even when it's not even when it's not fine print text. Even when it's not fine print text.
You know what? I don't know if it's that they don't read or their brain doesn't. I got this big sign
Both.
on the front of our
Give them the benefit of the doubt that it's both.
Because I will watch customers come in the door. They'll grab the handle. They'll look at the sign that says no mask, no service. They'll look at the door. They'll grab the door and pull it back. And they'll walk in and go, do I have to have a mask?
So, fellas, I'm going to sign out. I've got my morning run and I've got a gig tomorrow. So,
no doubt, man.
All right, man.
Yo, thank you for joining us. And for those of y'all that don't know, our buddy Ben here will be my next guest on Vyp Drive on Sunday afternoon. So, make sure you come back for that, baby.
Yep, this is just a prelude. Should be fun, man. Should be fun,
man.
guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
Stay safe. Enjoy the weekend start, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Here, man. Get some rest.
All right, man.
Nice one.
Man.
I mean, LB, my name is Tech Rant. I have like a banner and all that stuff. I even have like an intro and everything. And I yell at the camera for about like 8 minutes and I'll get a comment. Dude, why are you so mad? You don't have to be upset.
Welcome to YouTube.
What part of the last 8 minutes did you miss?
All of them. Literally all of them. But yeah, LB, we know that common sense is practically gone in 2020, man. I mean, people have just lost their ever-loving minds this year, all over.
See, that's why when I finally upload something, I'm not going to care about the comment section. It's going to be fun for me in the comment section. You guys know me. I'm one of those. I just wore a shirt yesterday that said, if you think I'm sarcastic, you should hear what I don't say. So I'm that guy that's just going to go into the comment section just to annoy those that want to be annoyed. Maybe I'll get the council of Marin. I'll take over Greg's spot.
I don't know, man. Greg has
a tall task.
Yeah, it's a tall task.
It's I don't know. I don't know if you could do it, LB.
Oh man. But I'm gonna let you go, LB, so we can get some more people calling here if they want to. But thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right, good people.
All right, later, man.
LB, good luck.
All right. So we are down to 3. Vyp line is still open. 219-440-1003. If you want to call and talk to me, Greg, or Trenton, now is the time.
That was my first time talking to Ben. Ben's really cool. I like him a lot. I'm gonna have to catch the episode with you.
Oh yeah,
Ben's
cool.
awesome. Despite the fact that he said cancel Greg, so maybe I shouldn't be so nice and say that actually.
Yeah,
so
Ben,
maybe
Ben is
I
cool people, man. Ben is
nah,
cool people.
you know, I changed my mind. Sorry, Ben. If you're still watching, he might be.
Oh, Greg is
He'd be lurking for like a second.
Greg is crazy. Oh my goodness.
Nah, Ben was cool. I like that.
I thought something today that relates to Apple, and now I can't remember what I thought today.
It's too many people in tech. It's like I just like keep like discovering new people, and it's like how do I not know about you?
Do you know like there are thousands of tech creators out there on a whole?
I know. I look at my social blade, and I'm like, I'm so good. I'm almost at 100,000. It's like there's like 6,000 people ahead of you, and I'm like, there's 6,000. What? What? Then how many people are there in total? It's a lot.
All right, so I got a question for both of you all. So there's this headline that Apple is going to give employee paid time off to vote on election day. Isn't it a government or a law mandate that you could be late to work that day anyway to vote or something like that? I thought that was like a law or something.
It depends on I think from state to state sometimes.
It's a state thing,
but they can't fire you. Like if I call into my job and I say, hey, I need to leave by so and so time to, go vote, then they can't fire me or say that I abandoned my job, like in that type of, at least here in Ohio, that little fine line of stuff, because you got some people that are, you have some people that will use it the right way and some people that use it the wrong way. Some people will just be like, oh, I need this day off so I can go vote. And they don't vote anyway. You know?
I used to work in a company that would give us like, time off to go vote and like pay us, but not every company is as nice as that. And, like even if you go to vote, like it's like, all right, you go vote. Either you don't get paid for these hours you weren't working, or you have to use like personal time or whatever, your vacation time. So it's just Apple's way of going, hey, don't worry about it. We're going to pay you. So go out and vote. Whereas a lot of other companies are kind of just like, oh, yeah, you can go vote, but you're not getting paid for this, 4-hour shift.
Interesting. All right, now we got to bring in Mr. D Blue himself. The poet is here. What's up, man?
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing tonight?
Oh, you did it. Yeah, I see what you did there. So I know you are all about gaming on PC. I said nobody cares about gaming on PC. So I'm curious to get your thoughts, Mr. The Poet. Do you have any opinion about Xbox versus PS5 or Xbox Series X versus PS5? Any opinion?
So my last console that I bought was a Nintendo 64. All right, that's how
yes,
I am.
Wow.
And I bought it only so that my wife and I can play Super Smash Brothers together and Mario Kart. Those are the only two games. And then she got me into something called Mario World or something like that. It was kind of fun, but traditionally, I'm a old school DOS gamer from like Command and Conquer, like playing on DOS, StarCraft back in the day. Ooh. And, saw the progression actually from the bulletin board systems. We had to dial in, and you could only be the one user dialed into a local bulletin board system playing games like Trade Wars and stuff like that. Those games were just epic. So then it really grew in the PC world in terms of multiplayer, and then massive multiplayer. You have games like World of Warcraft or PlanetSide, where you could have thousands of people fighting against each other, just like amazing epic battles. And consoles were always just kind of there as like, yeah, you guys go play your little race car games and your little shooters, but it was never as epic as the PC world. And now that the PlayStation 5 and Xbox are out, this is interesting. And I say interesting because they have hardware in there that, coming from the PC world, there's no possible way to build a PC that powerful at that price point. So it's intriguing to me. Still not worth it for me to buy a PlayStation or Xbox, just because I like that massive multiplayer experience. I have, let's see, if you can see here, I have like 3 monitors going on here on my system, 4K, I got 155 hertz, all kinds of stuff, water-cooled system. So I can do a lot more compared to like any PlayStation 5 can do. But just at that price point with that nice high-end technology has me intrigued so much where I think they're going to have some type of heating issues. So for my YouTube channel, I'm actually going to probably get a PlayStation 5, open it up, clean off the thermal compound, put liquid metal on there, and kind of see like the noise level differences and any loading time differences from that standpoint. Not sure if I'm really going to play any games. I'm interested in Spider-Man though, because I'm a huge fan of Into the Spider-Verse, huge fan. So that might be like the one game that I play. But other than that, like I need to teabag people, you know, I need to like all kinds of crap. And it's hard to do that on a console compared to that massive experience you have with PC games. Whether it's just like server related stuff, latency, of course, all kinds of options to customize your complete setup so that your gaming station, your battle station is truly yours and nobody else in the world has a similar one to you. That's just something that consoles will probably never get to because it's like cookie cutter. Everybody's got the same console. And if you're lucky, maybe you'll get like a Mortal Kombat style of PlayStation 5 or, you know, something in particular that's kind of like that. But, you know, PC is just, you make it, you create a world that is yours, uniquely yours. And then the game makers have a lot more flexibility in terms of how intense they want to make their games. Now, it is a bit harder for them because, like for console, they can make the game specifically for that hardware. And so it's actually kind of a lot more efficient. And that's one reason why they're getting so much power inside of those consoles, because all the programmers are just making content for that one style of hardware. So it is much harder for creators to make content for a vast variety of, you know, NVIDIA cards and AMD cards and Intel cards coming out in the future now, different styles of hardware and all that stuff. But you have that flexibility to upgrade, to customize your system in order to get those frames that you want, in order to have the keyboard layout that you want, the accessories for even like foot paddles and stuff like that for push to talk, just to talk to people, you know, press your feet. Stuff like that is just kind of fun. So that's where I'm coming from. Like I played GTA Grand Theft Auto when it was the DOS-based top-down effect. So you're just like looking at that little pixel guy running all over the place and crashing motorcycles and stuff. Wow. So I'm an old school gamer, but just nothing touches that massive multiplayer effect that PC gaming can bring you.
Uh-huh.
So that's my take.
That was like a verbal essay about how he had PC mastery. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Cool. Greg, what else is going on?
What else is going on?
What else is going on?
I don't know. What else is going on? Aliens. That's it.
I thought we were done with this. We're still on the aliens.
We're never done with the aliens. That's pretty big. I don't know.
They're keeping an eye on us. They're like, what's Earth doing these days? Yeah.
Not much. Working on a video, helping Travis go over his he has like an award for smaller creators going on.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting for tomorrow for his live stream and all that stuff.
Hey, Gray, have you read this headline about big code or something in macOS Big Sur that suggests that future Mac might get Face ID?
Yes, I read that article. Hopefully it's true because Face ID is pretty good. It's better than Touch ID because obviously on a laptop and stuff like that, you just open it up. It'll unlock your face, especially experiencing that with the new Magic Keyboard on the iPad Pro. Like as soon as you open that thing up, it scans your face and it's ready to go. So putting that on a Mac would make a lot of sense. And also for like an iMac that I'm staring at right now, obviously I don't think they're going to put I guess they could put a Touch ID sensor in like a wireless keyboard, but just put the camera right there, unlock it when you go to look at it. I think it's a better experience. I'm excited for it.
I enjoy it for my Microsoft Surface Laptop 3. I just open it up, boom, it's there. Typically, I'm not wearing a mask when I'm doing it. That's why I don't like, face unlock for phones because I'm out and about all the time. So that's kind of annoying. And excuse the low-flying airplane.
Mm-hmm. I like Face ID better out and about, but in the current landscape, it is pretty inconvenient. So I think do a both method.
Yeah, I am still waiting for the iPhone to have both Face ID and Touch ID. I don't know why this is not a thing yet.
I would have said pre all this happening. I would have been like, I like Face ID better. It works faster for me. It unlocks instantly when I need it to. If But after this, it's like how long am I have to wear a mask for? Like if you can like put like a Touch ID sensor back in there, that'd be great. Because when we had to like review the iPhone SE going back to Touch ID, it was around that time. So I was just like, this is actually like nice experience right now.
Yep.
But I mean, we shouldn't be having to deal with this anyway. So
all right, so
it's annoying.
Go ahead.
What? No, I'm good.
I'll talk about it at the same time. So the poet, you are still building your PC over there, right? Or did you finish building?
I've been building this PC since 2006.
Wow.
On my TikTok, I put a montage together because everybody always asks, like every day, how much did that cost? Because it's kind of beastly. So, little summary. This is called Deep Blue, and so it's got 32 cores, 64 threads. It's the Threadripper 3970X, 64 gigs of RAM, 50 terabytes of space. Everything is mainly EKWB for water cooling parts, and I custom did this all myself, like all the hardline bending and everything. In the Fantech 719 case, 480 radiator in the front, 360 radiator at the top, another 360 radiator in the side. So lots of cooling capacity. So last night I actually did a midnight to 2 a.m. overclocking session on the live stream on TikTok, and had a huge amount of people that follow me on there, and that was a lot of fun. But basically with this system, I did a montage on TikTok showing how it has progressed from 2006 up through today. So if somebody asks, like, how much does this cost? I have no idea, because this has just been a steady progression of Deep Blue being upgraded over the years. And this is the current state. And then in a few months, I might do another, tweaking here and there, and it's going to be something different because the new NVIDIA cards are coming out, Big Navi's coming out. So I have no idea which card I'm going to get, because right now, NVIDIA is really nice for video editing, but Big Navi looks like it may be faster than the 3080 Ti. So I still need to see like what kind of benchmarks come out. So I pay attention to like Bitwit and Gamers Nexus, Steve, Der Bauer, to see like what all of their takes are in terms of their benchmarks and the applicable uses for those video cards. And I use DaVinci Resolve. So I'm not really into Premiere or anything, but DaVinci Resolve is really nice for NVIDIA cards. But Big Navi being faster than the 3080 Ti, potentially, that could make up the difference. So we'll see. And whatever I do, it's going to be a water block on it.
Time out. You have been building that thing since 2006. That means 14 years. So I got to ask, what the hell is the end game? Like, where do you stop?
There is no end game.
There is no end game.
What?
It's over 9,000, Viper. That's all you need to know. And it just keeps on going.
Yeah, you got to keep upgrading your stuff. You got to have the latest and best.
Yeah. Like right now, there's no better processor for me to get. Even with the newer Threadrippers that just came out, they're more like truly workstation related, and they're actually slower, long story short, but they allow for more RAM, which is nice. I have the Vega 64 video card in here, and it's powering 255 hertz monitors. Well, one's at 144 right now, and a 4K 60 frames per second monitor with like a sRGB of like 99%. Games perfectly fine. Video editing is amazing. So I haven't had any reason to upgrade the Vega 64 up until now, maybe with this 3000 series or Big Navi coming out. So those are the first cards coming out that I'm like, okay, that would actually be a justifiable upgrade. And then with storage space, 4K video editing. Yeah, I'm up. I have about 50 terabytes of space in this thing, and I'm down to about 15 terabytes of free space. So still cranking it out. So probably more storage there.
What you're saying is that you're building the PC that never ends.
Exactly. Exactly.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's always something more to do, and even if it's just water cooling. My latest setup, I added a second reservoir there, pump reservoir combo, because I'm going to be adding a second system inside of it as well. So because of that, I want some redundancy. So if I need to shut one system down, the water flow is still going throughout the whole system.
So if you plan on perpetually building that thing, there is going to come a point where you need to replace the case, I'm guessing, right?
Yep. I recently replaced this case in January or December.
Okay.
Yeah. And my previous case was actually an Antec 1200, which was an amazing case that's sitting on the floor right next to me here. And I actually had a well-known artist in Buffalo, New York, paint the side of my case. It's a steel side. My avatar from all of my gaming from the 90s. So it's a kitten with a machine gun with a nuclear explosion going off in the background, and my name written in the poets and barbed wire on it. and he did an exceptional job. But like he's got like huge murals in Buffalo and like the hospitals, and there's like a freedom wall in Buffalo. So like he did it nice. He did it real nice.
Okay. So Rich from Review Tech USA just dropped a video saying that Halo Infinite was running on a PC.
I think a Halo game just came out on PC. Halo 3?
Yeah.
I think I saw that.
But for a game that was supposedly running on PC, that didn't look all that impressive. But hey, whatever. What can I say? I think we beat that over with a dead horse enough tonight. I just find that very funny and interesting. But I digress.
All I know is that the Poets is over here. It's like secretly dragging me back into the PC world because he was naming off all the specs, and I was just like,
Trent's like, I want one.
Come.
I got another question though. How did you come up with the Poet? Like, what is the origin of that?
So I went to Lincoln University, which is the first HBCU by Philadelphia, just south of Philly. And so we would have these Friday night poetry nights in like the bottom of one of the dormitories. And a name kind of came up, was called like the Poetess. And I was like, just like somebody was just kind of talking. And I was like, you know what? The Poets is actually kind of nice, you know, being like a male version of that. So that was probably back in 1995 or 96, where I first kind of came up with that. And then I think about 97 is when I just was like, you know what? This is my gamer tab. This is my gamer name. And it's been the same since. I thought
I would call myself Viper for a long time, but you got me beat.
Yeah. I had one other gamer name, and it was Cyberrad from the comic Cyber Radical. I don't know if you guys remember that comic at all, but I only use that as like an alternate, you know, when some servers, like you could have multiple characters. So I'd have the Poets and then I'd have Cyberrad. And but other than that, yeah, the Poets for the longest.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Having fun with it.
Now you have a doggy, don't you?
That's him right there. Yeah, Louis. Whoops. Sir Louis McDunn. So my last name is McKelvey. My wife's last name is, well, I'm not going to say her last name. She's an actress, so she's got her thing going. But so we kind of combined our names, and so he's McDunn. That's his last name. So Sir Louis McDunn. And they're stuck in Canada right now in quarantine. So, yeah, I'm alone right now.
Well, you better enjoy your freedom while you can.
more time with your gaming PC.
There you go. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. You know, and been making a lot more TikTok videos on tech. I'm up to almost like 40,000 followers now on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So all tech related, great community. Like I said, I did a live stream last night, and like tons of people came out, and so it's an interesting community. I'd say almost as tight knit as the tech tuber community, you know, tech YouTubers. Very different, just like very similar in terms of just like the tight knit crew that they have there. So we actually, are you guys familiar with Folding at Home? I don't know if anybody in the chat's familiar with Folding at Home.
Yeah.
It's a distributed computing platform where we're using it to help researchers better understand the virus, the protein folding nature of the COVID-19 virus. And so what we're doing is I created a team, so Team Tech Talk, on the Folding at Home platform, so that we could all kind of come together and allow our CPU and GPU resources to be utilized to understand the protein folding nature of this virus. And then those finished results get uploaded back to the researchers so they can help try to find like a cure or a vaccine for the virus. And you can use it for like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and cancers as well, but there's actually selection specifically for COVID-19 research. And so as of like today, we're at like 50 million points. We have about 370 users or CPUs working on this. So we're cranking out right now like 10 million points a day, and it's been really nice. And everybody's like really sharing all their experiences using Folding at Home. Like they're asking like what kind of hardware can they use with it. And you can use pretty much anything. You can use like a Mac, you can use PC, you can use a laptop. A lot of people are just using it like overnight to run on their PC because it's like an intense game almost in terms of how much resources it's taken up. So you kind of set it to run when your PC's at idle. But it's been great. Like researchers have been using this for years on different platforms for cancer research or Alzheimer's. Very similar to the SETI at home days for researching radio signals from space, you know, so that same style of distributed computing platform where you'd have those large array antennas that would receive all this radio signal data, and then you would use your PC to kind of crank out the numbers to determine if there's any repetitive patterns or intelligent patterns in those signals, and those would be sent back to the SETI research labs for kind of analyzing that finished data. So it's kind of nice. It's better than just using your PC just for gaming or just for video editing. You get to actually help the world so that I can eventually go back to my cigar lounge and fraternize with my people without any virus anymore.
There you go. Nice. Hey, Greg, there was a headline also earlier this evening that some leaker I've never heard of leaked that the iPhone event might be on September 8th, which makes sense because that's the second week of September. I think that's a Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds in line of what past events would be. The big wild card is we're expecting a lot of delays of like stuff to actually come in October or November.
Right.
Again, they could still have the event in September and then, just be like, oh, it's going to be out in October and all that stuff.
Yep.
But I always figured if that was going to happen, they do it late in September. So I'm not sure. You're right. It's like a new leaker. There's a lot of new people who are claiming to be like leakers.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since John started doing it, I feel like there's been like this crop of like a lot of new Twitter handles saying, I got this and I got that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I would love to believe them, but they got to establish their track record kind of like John did, right? Like people did, is John telling the truth here with this stuff? And then it's like he's saying the MacBook Pro is coming out in an hour, and then it comes out in an hour. It's like, okay, John's legit. Same thing with these people. They're throwing out so much stuff, and I'm keeping track of who's saying what, and I'm just waiting for the day of reckoning so I can go, okay, this person's accurate. This person seems to be making stuff up. So yeah, September 8th to me though, it seems it's based on all the leaks and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I even tweeted after they had posted that headline. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait for John to confirm it.
Yeah.
I'm making my plans.
Yeah, if John could confirm that would be great. If I see Gurman say something, there's a lot of like Oh no! All right. Now we
on the show.
now we have control, guys.
All right. So now let's talk about cars. That's what we really wanted to talk about, right?
Oh man,
yes, cars.
Oh gosh, Viper's back. All
Depends on
right.
what type of cars.
All of them.
All of them. Huh?
I gotta get going in a second, but let's talk something that's near and dear to my heart. Let's talk about this Sony AS7 III. 28th. Soon.
Yeah, that's the event. Yep.
Did you see? I'm like reading every single rumor that comes out about it. They had the picture of it today, like this horrible, horrible looking picture. But you saw the articulating screen.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I'm getting this. Like, I don't want to, and I'm trying. Every like fiber of my being is like, don't get it. Just save your money. But I saw that like articulating screen. I'm like,
so you are gonna go get it?
I think so. I was really trying to fight it, but like I was looking at all the leaks today. I was getting so excited. 10-bit, 4K, what was it? 120.
Dude, I need to be on this Greg bank account, man. You get a new camera, you get a new console, you get a new iPhone, you get a new Mac. Like, damn, like, how do I want to be like Greg when I grow up? Damn.
I want to be like me too. I want to be like Andrew Edwards, honestly. So
I think we all want to be like Andrew.
But no, yeah. I'll probably sell some stuff, honestly, to fund it. I have my A7 III. It's still a perfectly fine camera. I'm sure I can get like $1,500 for it. I have some old MacBooks that I should probably be selling because I'm not really using them. For review and stuff. It's probably time for them to leave the studio. So I will fund it other ways if I get it.
What, you got tired of stacking your MacBook?
Yeah. Well, I do keep them for a while so I can keep covering them for a little bit. I don't like to like review something for a week and then kind of send it back. I know some people have to, or some people have to, sell it quickly. I get that. But for me, I like to go in more long-term. I feel like that's a very underserved part of these technologies. It's someone gets it for a day, the big reviewers, they review it once and there's too much stuff. So they're on to the next thing. So I really feel like that's for like the smaller people. It's an area where I can be like, well, let me see. How is this computer really performing like a month later? Are there better options out now? So I kind of like to keep it for a little while longer than most people, I think.
Yeah, some of my best YouTube videos are the ones where I'm like reviewing like 3 months down the road.
Yes.
You know, so
Yeah.
I have this for 3 months. This is my thoughts, you know. And
Yes.
people
Absolutely.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if my initial review videos, because I'm competing with like the really big guys, they tend to do worse than when I do like a 1 month later, a 3 month later kind of thing.
Yep.
So it's actually advantageous to me to even do that. But I'll probably sell some stuff, honestly, Viper, and some other means. Maybe I can
other means.
some other means. I don't know.
I got
just win about 3 tech fights.
Yeah, win 3 tech fights. Tech fight. The prize is the A7.
How much is that camera going to be?
No one knows. I think the rumor is 3,500 though.
Oh, okay.
I'll be up there. Yeah.
See, this is the Sony RX100 Mark VII, and so I've been using this for almost all of my YouTube content, and it's been wonderful. Maybe a little pricey. I think I paid like 12 or 1,300 for this.
Yes.
But I mean, it's been great having the microphone jack, HDMI out. You know, it's been spectacular. It fits in my pocket.
Yeah.
And
I have the BB1, and it's like similar thing. And it's like such a nice little camera. It's like it's so impressive what it can do for like that tiny size. It's really.
I know. It really is. So I can just be like, suddenly, hey, I'm out. Let me just shoot something real quick, and suddenly I have content for my YouTube channel. You know, so I didn't have to deal with all kinds of equipment.
Trenton over there looking like he's watching a movie or something. What you watching over there, Trenton?
No, it's the way that so I have my camera set up over here to my right. So as you guys are talking, my eyes are moving. So the poets is to my left, so I'm looking at him. And then when Greg talks, I have to like look up here. So
gotcha.
Like I can't have this directly in front of me and still see you guys.
Gotcha.
Like
Now,
if I do it like this, now I'm staring straight into the camera, but I can't look at anybody without looking crazy.
Gotcha. So the people want to know, Trenton, when are you going to start putting that big boy equipment to use? You got that Sony camera, you got that G Master Lens. When you going to start putting it to use, baby? What we got here?
I already started. So I recorded a video this. Oh Lord, what did I do? Great. Now I can't see my screen. All right, there we go. So I recorded a video this morning. Well, long story short, here is the process. So I am going, and I think this is where I can kind of help people out with this. I am going from what is essentially a $400 to $600 setup to just about a $3,500 to $4,000 setup. Now, I did not pay $3,500 for this setup, but if you go back in time and you bought this same setup in 2015 when it came out, it was like $4,000. So it's more so learning the differences, one, between a consumer based camera and a semi-professional / professional camera, because like the Canon SL2 is awesome if you just want to turn it on and shoot a video and you don't care about anything else. When you get into these bigger cameras and you have way more options and way more flexibility, you have to learn it a little bit more. And even with like the color grading, like I put a picture up on Twitter because I shot in S-Log 2. Now, when I first shot in S-Log 2, I hated it. I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. I had no understanding of why anybody in their mind would use S-Log 2. But then I started to do some research. I started watching, and then I'm like, okay, now I get why MKBHD does this, or I get why Jonathan Morrison does that, and how they shoot and do this to get their image to look like that. And so then when I actually shot the video, and then I'm going back and I'm like grading this and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is amazing. I have never seen the color of my eyes in a video before. And I saw like the actual color. And I was like, okay, now once you put in a Godox and you put in a lens like this G Master lens, and you put in this, you know, A7 body with the 4K and all that stuff, and even the file sizes and all that, you start to understand the world that these other creators live in when they use this equipment. Now, do you need it for YouTube? You don't. You absolutely do not. But it's something that's one, it's starting to become more of a hobby of mine as far as learning and loving cameras. And two, it's just the flexibility that you have with it. Like the fact that, where people talk about all the time, well, if you record in 4K, you can punch in. I never experienced that because I had 1080p. But now that I got 4K and I can punch in and the image still looks the same and it doesn't look crazy, is amazing. So it's a whole new experience for me that I never had before, which is really awesome. So it's like I can speak from the perspective of I have the camera, I know what it does, I know what it's like, but I can also be the one that's like, yeah, it's cool to have a $400 camera, but there's some stuff that I wish this camera had that this expensive one does.
I feel like that because my 4K camera, I feel like it's almost like an extra cameraman. Because if I'm filming something like right now, I'm using the Microsoft Surface Laptop 3, so I did a video where I opened it up to put liquid metal on it to enhance the heat transfer and all that stuff. And having the camera above allowed me to zoom in without really losing any quality on specific parts of the motherboard. And I was doing that in post, so it's really like having almost like another cameraman, doing a one-man operation. Really, really helpful.
Yeah, that's why like when people are like, oh, why do you need that 12K camera that what was it, Blackmagic put out? People are like, why do you need 12K? And it's like when you start creating and stuff, and when you like, I do that a lot in my videos too. It's like I'm not zooming in, I'm just doing a wide shot, and then later I'm like, let me zoom in here to enhance to show people what I'm talking about. Having all that extra resolution to punch in, man, it's like having 2 extra cameramen like ready to go, so you can get all these different angles. It is really helpful as a creator when you're solo too, right? Like it's great.
Oh yeah.
And it helps for you to edit out mistakes as well. I was doing one, still at home content where part of my newer white box lights were like slightly into the video. So I'm like, God damn it. So I just punched in a little bit and hey, there you go. It's no longer there.
All right. Viper, as the great Roberto Blake would tell you, this A7 S3 will be quite the tax write-off for me. So just
there you go. No doubt.
Just to answer this guy's question, I would say as far as budget, and we're talking about budget as in under $1,000 for the body and the lens, really you can go with a Canon like 5D Mark II if you're just doing photography. You can even go with the 5D Mark I and get a cheap lens if you're purely doing photography. But you can also go with the SL3 with a kit lens. Like if you're starting out, there's plenty of megapixels. You can shoot in RAW. You can do Photoshop in Lightroom all day if you want to, if it's strictly for photography.
Thank God Trenton's on the screen because I wouldn't have had a clue.
I can't wait to see what Trenton does with that. With that camera and that lens. That lens costs almost as much as this new coming out. That's a $200 lens. So I can't wait to see what Trenton does with that.
I'm sad though, because that means that there will be probably no more black wall Trenton. I'm a little sad about that.
No. There's still a black wall because it all comes down to exposure and how you grade and stuff like that. But the best way I can explain this to somebody is like this. I personally, 4K is nice. That's cool. This camera is 10 times more convenient than my current camera. So my current camera, I have a kit lens, I have a 24mm lens, I have a 50mm lens, right? So that's 3 different lenses I have to switch in between shooting myself, getting a B-roll shot, walking around and doing different stuff. That takes time. This one lens, I can shoot all of my headshots. I can shoot all of my B-roll. I can take very good pictures just with this one lens. So that for me is convenience. Also, on the bottom here, as you can see my my tripod plate. This plate that goes on my SL2 blocks the battery door. I cannot open the battery door and I cannot take out the SD card slot because this is blocking it. This camera is big enough to where I can take out the battery and hot swap it if I need to, or I can come around to the side and I can take out the SD card slot take the SD card out of the slot without removing this from my tripod. So that saves me time. And so that's what a lot of this stuff becomes at the end of the day. It's convenience, it's time saving. I also have a monitor on here.
Yeah, what is that?
So this is a free world monitor because there's no flip out screen on this camera. But there are people who have flip out screens and they still use monitors. And the fact is that this monitor is big enough to where you can't miss focus. I've had flip out screens where I've missed focus because I was trying to do manual focus. So it's like I'm paying for convenience. I'm paying for less time or less mistakes. And that's usually where the trade-off occurs. It's either, you pay less and you live with like the downsides of paying less, or you pay a little bit more, but it's time that you save overall. Like today was probably the fastest I've ever shot a video.
Hey, Greg, don't you have the Atomos Ninja 5 or whatever?
Yes, I do.
How's that going for you?
Really good. Really, really good. It's been very helpful. At first, I just got it to kind of like see myself, the struggles of the A7 III, not having a monitor that flips out. So at first I was like, well, let me get it to see myself. And also it's an external recorder. There's like a sale on it. I was talking to Technically T about it and I got it. I put like the most recent firmware update on it. And then I saw Jonathan Morrison talking something about like false colors, which is a way to help you measure like exposure and all that stuff. And that, I was really happy with how my last video looked. And it was all because of like the false color stuff. Because I was able to like get like a better exposure because I was able to like push it just about to its limit of where the exposure is supposed to be. But everything that monitor does is super helpful because it's like an external recorder. Now I just take, instead of doing like SD cards, with the Ninja, you just take like a 2.5 SSD and plug it in the back over there. So I've been able to get footage like that. And it's in ProRes, which is the native thing that Final Cut uses. So with this, I can leave the files in place and edit like no import time. Just go, I'm going to edit, put it in, go right into ProRes, edit all that stuff. And it's just been great. I really like the Ninja 5.
Wait. Back up. So you have a Samsung SSD. That's the T5 or the T7 or whatever?
Neither. It's what is this? The 860 Evo.
Okay. Because I actually just brought you a Samsung T7 today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those are good. Yeah, those are. I have one of those as well. I think the T5, and it's like an external SSD.
So you can plug that right into the monitor. You said.
Yeah. So the Ninja 5 on the back has an SSD connection, and you just put it right in the back there, and that's where it records the footage to. It records it on an SSD drive.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Yeah. So basically that's an internal PC hard drive that he's able to stick inside.
Exactly.
Yep.
So when it comes time, like, so I go to do my like shoot, and then before, I would take the SD card, I would import all the footage onto an external drive. These files are so big now, and then edit that there. So it would take some time. Like I'd go walk away for a little bit as my card's like importing all the footage because I like to I shoot everything and then I do like a mass import. Now, when I'm done shooting, I literally just go to the computer, plug it in, right on the drive. I don't take the files off of it. I'm just like, let me just edit right now, and it's just instant.
Wait. Okay. That's so nice. You can plug that SSD card straight into the Atomos.
Yes.
Could I do the same thing with a T7, or is it?
No. Yeah, you couldn't do that with the T7 because you just need the T7. You would need these connectors right here.
Oh, okay.
So you would need that exposed.
That's
so
the SATA SSD drive.
Yeah, you would be going through like a USB-C connection on the.
But theoretically, I could do the same thing. I would just have to plug it into the Ninja via USB-C, right, or whatever. No,
I'm really not sure. I'm not sure.
So Viper, I believe you could. It just would be really annoying because there'd be nowhere to mount the drive.
Also, I would just if you were gonna get the Ninja, I would just return that anyway, because you can pick these up way cheaper. These are cheaper than that. Like if you're just getting one of these, like a terabyte versus a terabyte, these will cost you less money. So I would, if you were going to go Ninja and you had that on the way, I would just return it and just pick up one of those anyway.
Okay.
But the main part of this conversation is you're trading money for time.
Yeah.
So if you Viper, if you take your process, right, of editing, shooting, whatnot, take a notebook. Okay, just write down how long it takes for you to shoot a video. Then write down how long it takes for you to take the SD card out and transfer all the footage. And then you go and watch it. And then let's say you made a mistake. Let's say you were out of focus or something didn't look right. And then you had to go back again. You had to redo it and write down that time again. And then go back in. And then how long it takes for, to import the footage and for Final Cut to transcode it and to put it into ProRes. And then you edit the video and then you export the video, right? And then let's say with the mess ups and the extra time that it took, 45 minutes out of your day, right? Now, if you take that 45 minutes and you look at that and you say, okay, I'm going to throw $200, $300, $400, $500 once at something so I can get back 45 minutes of my day. And let's say you make videos every single day. That's like you're buying almost an hour back every single day that you don't have to deal with something, just like you don't have to go into a store now and wait in line to get something. You can go through a drive-through or you can get something sent to you because you're saving that time by paying that money. And that's where all this adds up. And especially when you have to make all these videos like all the time.
Yeah. If it's 45 minutes a day, it's like, well, I'll deal with that. But then it's like you do that every day and it quickly adds up to like, okay, this is worth it.
Okay. First, I need Max Lee to stop trolling. What's up, Max? Stop trolling.
What up, Max Lee?
Secondly, I'm trying to understand this. So, because I know the Ninja, with the A73 that we use, Greg, I know it has the record limit, but I think I've heard time and time again, if you attach a Ninja Atmos, they never eliminate the record limit, right?
Yeah, no record limit at all. Because the Ninja 5 is an external recorder. So when it's a weird concept when you first get it. It's pretty simple to understand, but it's a weird concept. So when you go to record on the Ninja 5, you turn on your camera, but you never hit record on your camera. You hit record on the Ninja. The Ninja is recording through HDMI. So technically, if you wanted to get like gameplay footage off like your Xbox or PlayStation, whatever, you could actually record that onto the Ninja. Some people use it for that to get like really high quality, like 4K, 60 frames per second footage. But it's basically just taking the feed from the camera through the HDMI. There's actually a setting on your A7 III that goes, do you want to record to the SD card or do you want to record through HDMI? Another benefit of that too is if you hook up a traditional monitor to the A7 III, for some reason when you do that, you lose face tracking.
Right.
With the Ninja, as long as you set the record only to HDMI, you get face tracking back because it's extra processing that the camera doesn't have to do anymore. So you actually get that back. But the concept you have to understand is the Ninja 5, everything's being recorded on that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Very nice.
Very interesting. I have to think about that. Right.
Yeah, it's helpful too. Like I don't use it. Like I love Sony autofocus. It's one of the reasons why I went with Sony cameras in the first place. Their autofocus was just so good. And again, I'm a one-man crew. But when I started, people are like, don't use autofocus. You got to use manual focus. I'm like, nope. I'm finding the best autofocus camera I can, and I'm using that, and it's worked out for me.
That's why I got this.
Exactly.
I don't have to worry about autofocus at all. Just
and now most cameras have done a pretty good job getting their autofocus up to that. But when I started, it was like Sony was like the only one that had it down. But even with like this Ninja and stuff, you can have the focus peaking on the monitor, so you can set that. And if you're doing manual focus and stuff, you could come back around the camera and you can see if you're actually in focus. You can see all like the red dots and everything when you set focus peaking. You can see that you're in focus. You can set the zebras, the histogram, again, the false color stuff, which I'm using. And if you want to try and learn more manual camera controls, this thing is like the ultimate like assistant. Like it'll let you know, like, hey, is this shot going to be overexposed? Is this shot going to be underexposed? Like that's like the kind of stuff it's doing. It's really cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that if you try and do it all in one day, you're gonna overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
But if you slowly do this over time, if you slowly figure this out, one, it becomes second nature, and two, you learn how to basically have the camera bend to your will. So if you get into, let's say, a lighting situation that you don't like or something like that, you have more to work with as far as pulling out the image instead of, oh, that was a bad shot, I got to retake it. There's nothing I can do. This is just waste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where all this stuff, comes into, like, and you've seen it over time where, you went from, I think you were recording on what, like an iPad or an iPhone at one time?
iPad.
Yeah. So you went from that to having a Procaster, having the microphone, having the quality, having the reliability of your audio go above. Because what happens if you're recording and your phone rings? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all these different things that go into it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Just like anything else in life. Like when you go from, like, let's say you go from riding the bus, which God knows how much time that takes anybody. Is it cheaper than driving your own car and insurance? Yeah. But having your own car and insurance is more convenient.
Were you about to say the poets?
I was saying, Viper, your setup has definitely improved over the last couple of months. Like I remember when your main showpiece was the Batmobile. That was the best looking thing in your background. Now it's like the whole thing is really coming together with the lighting, the bokeh effect, everything, like sound quality, even the merch. Hey, you're looking kind of fly there.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about this ninja thing, because right now I use the Sony imaging app on my iPad to record video because I don't have a monitor like that. And then when I'm done recording, I have a USB-C plugged into the camera, and I just plug it directly into my computer, and that's how I transfer the video file. So I'm wondering if I got this ninja and I got a SSD card, would that be a faster process instead of doing it the way I do it now? But I don't know.
It would be for you and what you do. It would be less taxing on the computer as far as editing.
Yeah. Honestly, like people say like ProRes is like an easier file to work with. I gotta say, like I believe all those people, but I think like the computer I use is just like too powerful to really notice like a difference with that smoother file. There's a higher quality to it, I guess, but by the time it goes to YouTube, it's kind of moot too, right? Like it's higher quality as you're editing it, but once it's on YouTube, it's all compressed again anyway. But I'm not sure I think your MacBook, I feel like you're not going to notice too much of a difference based on my experience going from the Sony XVAC files to the ProRes, but maybe in like the future you will. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I guess the faster way of thinking about it though is you really don't have to do those imports anymore, and you can leave the files directly on the SSD drive. That's what saves me the most time, rather than just the file I'm working with. And those file sizes, when you do ProRes, they're huge, man. They're really big.
What file sizes what file types do you guys upload to YouTube? Because I've traditionally been doing MP4, and lately I just switched over to QuickTime, just because it seems like it's a little bit crisper after YouTube finishes its butchering of the quality. And then my file sizes are big. They're like 20 to 60 gigs, depending on how long my video is.
Mine are anywhere from like 2 to 6 usually.
So this is very interesting for me because I'm in between two cameras right now. So what I used to do was I would record in 1080, and then I would export whatever LumaFusion said to export it at as far as standard. I would just export it as that. But I would export it in 4K. So I would record in 1080, up-res to 4K, and then I would just upload to YouTube. And whenever YouTube says it was ready, I would just let it go. Sometimes I follow like what they say as far as like, you know, like the megabits, like 1080 should be between, you know, 10 and 24. I honestly haven't seen much of a difference between uploading in the smaller versus the larger. Like, to me, YouTube kind of takes really no time in processing 1080p. It's only with the 4K that, like, if you upload ProRes, it's going to take forever, as opposed to if you do .mp4 or .mov. So, like, it depends. I've had mixed experiences.
So I see a big difference on my 4K television, you know, big television. If I'm uploading between two different bit rates for 4K, because I only do 4K, I do see the difference there. So I'm always trying to just upload to the highest quality these days, just because I can tell the difference. So call me Team Crispy, you know. But you know, I'm kind of on the tech side of things, so I like to showcase like what the motherboard looks like, you know, what devices I'm using. So I want that crispiness. It's not really just a talking head video. But I have decided that after this past CES, I'm just recording in 1080p and uploading in 1080p, because those 4K files uploading at the hotel took forever to upload. So I'm not doing that anymore.
That's smart. Yeah, that's smart to change that.
I mean, I got gigabit internet, and it takes me forever to upload 4K because I don't get 4K upload speed here. So
yeah, no, it was taking me 2 hours to upload one video to YouTube.
Okay, it don't take that long for me, but yeah, it's long enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's the processing. It's never even been the upload speed. It's the processing after YouTube receives it.
Yep. Annoying AF.
Yep. See, for me, that's been hit or miss. Sometimes it just processes it really nicely, and then I'm like, hey, that was cool. And other times I'm just like, it's been 2.5 hours. What the hell's going on? And like, I'm reaching out to other YouTubers, like, are you experiencing this? And all of them would say, yes, we're experiencing long time. So
yeah,
I guess it just depends, especially when this whole virus thing started happening. Those processing times for me like went through the roof. I was like, what's going on?
Everybody's uploading stuff at the same
time.
time.
Everybody's uploading. Yeah.
It is so inconsistent. There are some days I'll upload something and I am just amazed how fast it processed it in like 4K. I'm just like, wait, what? It's ready to go already? Like, I'm not even done like filling out the description and everything. Like, this is crazy. And then there's like other times, like, you're right. It's like, is this thing broken? Like, should I just re-upload it? And it's like, you're just like sitting there like questioning everything. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. One hack I know some people do is if you have content that is not time sensitive, meaning like you can release it whenever, right? And it's not really going to affect it because it's going to be like on the long tail evergreen part of YouTube. Most people will just bang out those, 4K videos. They'll upload them. They'll let them sit on YouTube in private for like 2 or 3 days, and then finally just go ahead and schedule it and release it, because it's not, it doesn't have to show that day or they're going to miss the algorithm.
Yeah, none of my videos are time sensitive, because a lot of them just how to adjust your Wi-Fi settings to make it faster, stuff like that. But I always release in the mornings now. So if I'm editing at night and get everything going and uploading it, suddenly I'm setting my alarm for like 2 o'clock in the morning to kind of get up and see if it's finally finished processing, so that I can do like those end cards and all that stuff as well, which is kind of annoying. But I like to, since I'm on the West Coast, I like to have my videos kind of air at about 3:30 in the morning Pacific time. So like 6:30 Eastern time, people are waking up and say, hey, new video, type of thing.
I think you can set up templates for your end cards.
I do, but it depends on the video as well.
Okay.
So sometimes I'm just like, let YouTube select whatever video is going to be best. And then other times I'm like, okay, if you watch this video, I want them to be notified of this other video that I did, So
gotcha.
Yeah, specific.
Well, you all, we have been here almost a little over 3.5 hours. I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us live. Thank you so much. If you super chatted or anything like that, thank you. Appreciate it. Like I told you guys earlier, I'll be back live on Sunday afternoon with Lover of Tech for another episode of Vyp Drive. So make sure you tune in for that if you want to hang. Thank you to the poets and Trenton and Greg and Mike and Ben for joining me tonight on the show. Lively discussion about next generation consoles. Enjoyed it. Absolutely Awesome. Well, thank you guys. But I'm going to give you guys the rest of your Friday evening back. So have fun, enjoy, and stay safe. Wear a mask and do all that good stuff. But until the next time, people, this your boy Viper, the man about tech. You know where to find me. So come back for more.